Okay, are we back? I think we're back. Hello, everybody. You might notice the layout looks a little bit different tonight. Uh, and that's because I was having a bit of an issue getting this game running, and it turns out this game does not have a proper HD aspect ratio. It's just a 4:3 game, which is a-okay for me. Like, I'm fine with it, I don't care. But I know some people might think that's like, you know, it's a whole thing. But it's fine because the game's working now, and that's okay. I'm late because the game wasn't working. I apologize, everybody. But we're here now. So hi, how are you? The game might go black screen for a second because I'm gonna put it in full screen mode. Hopefully that didn't break anything. Okay, it doesn't seem to have broken anything. So we're playing, I wish I could pronounce this correctly, KATAWA SHOUGO, I think is how you say this game. And it is a dating sim made by 4chan, specifically a development team called 4Leaf that originated on 4chan back in, I think, 2009? And the reason why I want to play this game is because all of the quote-unquote, like, bachelorettes, like the girls that you can romance in this game, are disabled in one way or another. I am going to temporarily break the game again, just by clicking out, because I completely forgot that we're going to... I don't know if we're going to need it, but just in case, we might need a sensor image. I don't think we'll need it, but just in case anything comes up, I will have it ready just in case. Transfer. It's gonna be a really old piece of artwork. This one will do. This is gonna be our sensor image. So for anything funky-dunky happening on screen, I'm just gonna put my face over it. Let's hope it's proper representation. I've heard that this game is beautiful representation. I forgot to turn off the sensor image because I'm a fucking idiot. There we go. I've heard that this game has some beautiful representation for all kinds of physical disabilities. We're not talking like mentally disabled tonight. They've all got physical disabilities in one way or another. I have to move my second monitor aside for a bit just so that I can see everything properly. There we go. There. A light breeze causes the naked branches overhead to rattle like wooden wind chimes. Autism DLC? That'd be nice. This is a popular retreat for couples in the summer. The deciduous trees provide a beautiful green canopy far out of sight of teachers and fellow students. But now, in late winter, it feels like I'm standing under a pile of kindling. I breathe into my cupped hands and rub them together furiously to prevent them from numbing in this cold. I'm guessing that's our name, Hisao? Just how long am I expected to wait out here anyway? I'm sure the note said 4 PM. Yes, the note. Slipped between the pages of my math book while I wasn't looking. As far as cliches go, I'm more of a fan of the letter in the locker, but at least this shows a bit of initiative. As I ponder the meaning of the note, the snowfall gradually thickens. The snowflakes silently falling from the white-painted sky are the only sign of time passing in this stagnant world. Operator, hey, how you doing? I've got one of your concepts ready. I'm not sending it over until I have both ready, so you can take a sneak peek. But I've already got one of them done. How are you? I'm good, thank you. You actually just reminded me. I've got no idea why, but I didn't finish making my tea this morning. Not this morning, but like when I was supposed to start streaming. So if you guys could pretty please give me 2 seconds, I'll finish making my cup of tea and I'll be right back. Okay, chat, can you hear me? I'm back. I'm just walking back to the desk. I spilt a whole bunch of tea on my carpet, but I'm sure it's fine, and I'm sure it won't be an issue. I'll just clean, I'll get some, like, carpet soap or shampoo or whatever it's called, and scrub it all down later. Good, just off to work. It's almost 4:30 AM, and I'm about to make a Warframe fashion for Amy Doggy. Oh, okay. That sounds awesome. What exactly do you do for work, operator? I'm surprised I haven't developed insomnia yet. Jeez, that's gotta be rough. Alright, let's hop back into this. The slow descent upon the frozen forest makes it seem like time has slowed to a crawl. The rustling of dry snow underfoot startles me, interrupting the quiet mood. Someone's approaching me from behind. Hi, Hisao? You came? A hesitating, barely audible question. However, I recognize the owner of that dainty voice instantly. I feel my heart skip a beat. It's a voice I've listened to hundreds of times, but never as more than an eavesdropper to a conversation. I drove a forklift for 12 hours at a masonry plant. Oh, jeez, that is a very, very long... Is that like 12 hours a day? That's ridiculous. I turn to face this voice, the voice of my dreams, and my heart begins to race. Oh my god, this is actually such pretty artwork. Whoa. I was not expecting the game to be this pretty. Look at this. Iwanako, I got the note telling me to wait here. Was it yours? Damn it, I spent all afternoon trying to come up with a good line and that was the result? Pathetic. Yeah. I asked a friend to give you that note. I'm so glad you got it. A shy, joyous smile that makes me so tense I couldn't move a single muscle even if I tried. I work 4 PM to 4 AM. That's gross. That's yucky, bro. That's yucky. I mean, if you enjoy what you do, then I don't see a problem with it. But, like, if I had to do 12 hours a day, 5 days a week for my like, art and, like, my freelance and stuff, I wouldn't care. But if I had to do those same kind of hours for my second job or my day job, I would probably do things that are not Twitch friendly for me to say. My heart is pounding now, as if it were trying to burst out of my chest and claim this girl for itself. So, here we are, out in the cold. Oh no, sorry, that was him. Sorry, wrong voice. Once again, the wind stirs up the branches. The cacophonous noise is music to my ears. Iwanako flinches ever so softly against the gust of wind. As it passes, she rights herself, as if supported by some new confidence. Her eyes lock with mine and she lazily twirls her long, dark hair around her finger. All the while, the anxious beating of my heart grows louder. My throat is tight. I doubt I could even force a word out if I tried. Damn, so, like, this is the start of the game, mind you. We already have, like, this couple getting together. The pay is phenomenal, though. I make 1950 USD an hour. What is that in my currency? Hang on. I'm curious. 1950. Oh my Okay, that's not bad. That's a little less than what I make an hour. That's pretty good. For a forklift driver, too. Yeah, that's not bad at all. You see... Oh, that was red light. That was a red flash. I wanted to know... Oh, it's the heartbeat. If you'd go out with me? I stand there, motionless, save for my pounding heart. I want to say something in reply, but my vocal cords feel like they've been stretched beyond the breaking point. Oh, this music's quite loud. Hisao? I reach up and try to massage my throat, but it only sends spikes of blinding pain along my arms. Hisao! My whole body freezes, save for my eyes, which shoot open in terror. Oh, are we also gonna be disabled in this game? Hisao! The beating in my chest suddenly stops and I go weak at the knees. The world around me, the canopy of bare branches, the dull winter sky, Iwanako running towards me, all these fade to black. Wow. Okay, so I think we might also be disabled. That poor girl! She's like, will you go out with me? And the guy she's asking out fucking dies in front of her. Oh my god, I would be so traumatized. I would never start a relationship ever again after that. The last thing I remember before slipping away are the sounds of Iwanako screaming for help at the end of the incessant clatter of the branches above. Yeah, we had a literal heart attack. That's so scary. That is absolutely horrifying. Ooh, it's only slight, but we've got animation. I would encourage people, like, because I'm probably not gonna go through and 100% this game. It depends on how much I fall in love with it by the end of this stream. But I would highly encourage people, if you're not gonna play this game yourself, because this game is free, I would recommend looking into the story of how this game even came to be. Because it is such an interesting tale, and for people like me, the story behind the making of these kind of games is what makes me want to play them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you hear 4chan dating sim, and you don't expect to see a game like this, and you even less expect to hear the story behind this. It's really interesting, and I think it's definitely worth doing a bit of research into if you like that kind of stuff. Oh my god, it was a heart attack! Shit, I was just joking. It's been 4 months since my heart attack. Did Iwanako still want to go out with us? Probably not. And that whole time, I can probably count the times I've left this hospital room unsupervised on one hand. 4 months is a pretty long time when you're left alone with your thoughts. So I've had plenty of time to come to terms with my situation. This hits a little too close to home for me. I didn't have a heart attack, full disclosure. That's not why this is relatable. I'm gonna quickly fiddle with my heater 1 second. Okay, so I didn't have a heart attack, so it's not that level of relatable, but I did have really, really sudden, debilitating pains on, I remember the day, it was Australia Day last year. It was Australia Day last year, and I really, really suddenly at work had such bad pain that I could barely stand upright, and I had difficulties like, you know, standing, breathing, all that kind of stuff. And that pain went completely undiagnosed for 4 months. Turns out it was just severe lactose intolerance because my stomach had become inflamed to a point where, like, simply existing was too much. I was lucky that the swelling didn't cause any permanent damage or disfigurement. But at the same time, my stomach is a lot more sensitive to foods and spices and all that sort of stuff, and I'm unable to tolerate things the same way I used to. So not relatable in the sense of heart attack, but absolutely relatable in the sense of 4 months with crippling pain left mostly alone with your thoughts. That hits. Arrhythmia. I think I actually knew someone in high school that had arrhythmia. A strange word. A foreign, alien one. One that you don't want to be in the same room with. A rare condition. It causes the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It can be fatal. Apparently, I've had it for a long time, and they said it was a miracle I was able to go on so long without anything happening. Is that really a miracle? I guess it was supposed to make me feel better, more appreciative of my life. It really didn't do anything to cheer me up. Hey Maxie, how you doing? I love that emote, that is adorable. My parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had 2 hemorrhages apiece. Oh my god. I had already had a full day by then to digest everything. To them, it was all fresh. They were even willing to sell our house in order to pay for a cure. Oh my god. Aloha, Rat King. Yes, the Rat King is very pleased to see you today. The Rat King is touched that you remember them. Of course, there isn't a cure. Because of the late discovery of this condition, I've had to stay at the hospital to recuperate from the treatments. I have to take down a little note. I have a note up on my desk related to a project that I'm working on, but it's blocking my screen, so I have to take it down for now. The Rat King is going to date some disabled women. We've very recently discovered that our protagonist has arrhythmia, which is a very, very dangerous invisible disability. I spent 9 months in the hospital when I was 13 with cancer. That was almost 10 years ago. I was diagnosed perfectly fine now. That is amazing. Dude. I've lost people in my life to cancer before. That is so incredible. I don't have words. Like, I feel like there's nothing I could say to properly express how big of a deal that is. That's so good for you. I know it was 10 years ago, but still, congratulations. Because of the late discovery of this... Oh yeah, I read this. When I was first admitted, it felt as if I was missed. For about a week, my room in the ward was full of flowers, balloons, and cards. But the visitors soon dwindled, and all the get-well gifts began trickling down to nothing shortly after. I realized that the only reason I'd gotten so many cards and flowers was because sending me their sympathy had been turned into a class project. Oh, that is really unfortunate. I hate that. Nah. I'd rather not get any gifts at all than get a whole bunch simply because, like, my coworkers were told that they should send me one. Maybe some people were genuinely concerned, but I doubt it. Even in the beginning, I barely had visitors. By the end of the first month, only my parents came by on a regular basis. Iwanako was the last to stop visiting. Oh, she did stop. I had both leukemia and lymphoma. There's a lot more that happened in that time that I won't go into. That's perfectly fine. Obviously, don't share what you don't feel comfortable sharing, but that's... I can only imagine what that must have been through, been like. And at 13, no less, that's gotta be a difficult experience. After 6 weeks, I never saw her again. We never had that much to talk about when she visited anyway. Damn, so us being hospitalized and her visiting us made her realize that she didn't actually want to date us. That's horrible. We didn't touch on the subject that was between us on that snowy day ever again. The hospital? It's not really a place I'd like to live in. The doctors and nurses feel so impersonal and faceless. I guess it's because they're in a hurry and they have a million other patients waiting for them, but it makes me feel uncomfortable. For the first month or so, I asked the head cardiologist every time I saw him for a rough estimate on when I'd be able to leave. He never answered anything in a straightforward way, but he told me to wait and see if the treatment and surgeries worked. So, I idly observed the scar and those surgeries had left on my chest slowly change its appearance over time. Sorry, I said that out loud, but I didn't actually process what that was, so I'm gonna start again. So, I idly observed the scar that those surgeries had left on my chest slowly change its appearance over time, thinking of it as some kind of an omen. I still ask the head cardiologist about leaving, but my expectations are low enough now that I'm not disappointed anymore when I don't get a reply. The way he shuffles around the answer shows that there's at least some hope. It's not that I'm not comfortable, it's just a lot. Oh, okay, that's also fair. At some point, I stopped watching TV. I don't know why, I just did. Maybe it was the wrong kind of escapism for my situation. I started reading instead. There was a small library at the hospital, although it was more like a storeroom for books. I began working my way through it, one small stack at a time. After consuming them, I would go back for more. I found that I liked reading, and I think I even became a bit addicted. I started feeling naked without a book in my hands. But I loved the stories. That was what my life was like. The days became increasingly harder to distinguish from each other, differing only by the book I was reading and the weather outside. It felt like time blurred into some kind of gooey mass I was trapped inside, instead of moving within. Oh my god. Yeah, I relate to that really bad too. A week could go by without me really noticing it. Sometimes I'd pause in realization that I didn't know what day of the week it was. But other times, all the things that surrounded me would painfully crash into my consciousness through the barrier of nonchalance I had set up for myself. The pages of my book would start to feel sharp and burning hot, and the heaviness in my chest would become so hard to bear that I had to put the book aside and just lay down for a while, looking at the ceiling as if I was going to cry. But that happened only rarely. And I couldn't even cry. Today, the doctor comes in and gives me a smile. He seems excited, but not very. It's like he's trying to make an effort to be happy on my behalf. My parents are here. It's been a few days since I've last seen them. Both of them are even sort of dressed up. Is this supposed to be some kind of special occasion? It's not a party. There is this ritual the head cardiologist has. He takes his time sorting his papers, then setting them aside as if to make a point of the pointlessness of what he just did. Then he casually sits down on the edge of the bed next to mine. He looks me in the eyes for a moment. Hello, Hisao. How are you today? I don't remember him, but I smile back at him. Oh, I don't answer him, sorry. I can't read. I believe that you can go home. Your heart is stronger now, and with some precautions, you should be fine. We have all your medications sorted out. I'll give your father the prescription. The doctor hands a sheet of paper to my dad, whose expression turns wooden as he reads it quickly. So many. I take it from his hand and take a look myself, feeling numb. How am I supposed to react to this? Oh wow, that is whoa, yeah, that is a lot. The absurdly long list of medications staring back at me from the paper seems insurmountable. There we go. They all blend together in the sea of letters. This is insane. Side effects, adverse effects, I can't read it because the text's in the back. Contraindications, I think, and doses are all listed line after line with cold precision. I try to read them, but it's so futile. Yeah, kind of like what I'm reading right now. I can't understand any of it. Attempting to only makes me feel sicker. All this for the rest of my life? Every day? I'm afraid that's the best we can do at this point. However, new medications are always being developed, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that list fade over the years. Years? What kind of confidence booster is that? I'd have felt better if he hadn't said anything at all. Also, I've spoken with your parents, and we believe that it would be best if you don't return to your old school. What? Please, calm down, Hisao. Listen to what the doctor has to say. Calm down? The way he says it tells me he knew full well that I wouldn't like it. Am I going to go to homeschool? Go. There, I can't read. Whatever of my concern shows, it's ignored. We all understand that your education is paramount, however, I don't think it's wise for you to be without supervision. At least not until we're sure that your medication is suitable, so I've spoken to your parents about a transfer. It's a school called Yamaku Academy that specializes in dealing with disabled students. Disabled? What? Am I? It has 24-hour nursing staff, and it's only a few minutes from a highly regarded general hospital. The majority of students live on the campus. Think of it as a boarding school of sorts. It's designed to give students a degree of independence while keeping help nearby. That's actually such a good idea. I hope places like that actually exist and that they're run, you know, the way they should be run, because that's awesome, trying to give disabled people their own independence while also having, like, help accessible if they need it. That's cool. Independence? It's a school for disabled kids. Don't try to disguise that fact. If it was really that free, I wouldn't be, there wouldn't be a 24/7, 24-hour nursing staff, and you wouldn't make a hospital being nearby a selling point. I disagree. I think that's a really cool thing. But I understand where this character is coming from. Coming to terms with the fact that you might potentially be disabled or you are disabled is super rough. Of course, it's only if you want to go, but your mother and I aren't really able to homeschool you. We went out there and had a look a couple weeks back. I think you'd like it. It looks like I really don't have a choice. Compared to the other hard problems, people with your condition usually tend to live long lives. You'll need a job one day, and this is a good opportunity to continue your education. This isn't an opportunity. Don't call it an opportunity. Don't call it a goddamn opportunity. Well, you should be excited at the chance to go back to school. I remember you wanted to return to school, and while it's not the same one... A special school? That's... an insult. I can't read. An insult. That is what I want to say. It's a step down. That's not what you think. All of the students there are pretty active in their own sort of way. It's geared towards students that can still get around and learn, but just need a little help one way or another. Your father is right, and many of the graduates of the school have gone to do amazing things. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. And I know we're talking specifically about physical disabilities, but that goes for mental disabilities too. All of my divergents in chat, all of my fellow divergents. Or what's the other one? Neurospicy. I know some people don't like neurodivergent. All of my neurospicy people. One of my colleagues in another hospital is a graduate. I don't care. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. That's what a disability is. I really hate that something so important was decided for me, but what can I do about it? A normal life is out of the question now. It's funny. I always thought of my life as actually kind of boring, but now I miss it. Yeah, I feel this too. Aw, thanks for the kisses, Skinner. I want to protest. I want to blame this lack of reaction on shock or fatigue. I could easily yell something now. Something about how I can go back to school anyway. But no. I don't want to say anything. The fact is that I know it's futile. I look around the room, feeling very tired of all this. The hospital, the doctors, my condition, everything. I don't see anything that would make me feel any different. There really isn't a choice. I know this. But the thought of going to a disabled school, what are those even like? As much as I try to put a positive spin on it, it's very difficult. But let me try. A clean slate isn't a bad thing. That is all I can think of to get me through this. At least I can still have something. Even if it's a special school, it's something. It's a fresh start, and my life isn't over. It would be a mistake to just resign myself to thinking that. At the very least, I'll try to see what my new life will look like. Look, man, I had trouble coming to terms with the fact that I was mentally disabled, and when my knee started really fucking up a few weeks ago, I was struggling to come to terms with the fact that I was potentially also physically disabled because my doctors thought it was arthritis. Luckily it is not arthritis, and I'm not physically disabled, I'm just disabled in the brain, but like, it's incredibly scary. I can't imagine what it's like for people who actually are physically disabled and have to come to terms with that. It's horrifying. But, you know, it is what it is. The gate looked far too pompous for what it was. In fact, the gates in general seem to do that, but this one especially so. Red bricks, a black wrought iron, and grey plaster assembled into a whole that didn't feel welcoming at all. I wondered if it looked like what a gate for a school should look like, but I couldn't really decide. Probably no. Of course, I didn't want to get stuck on thinking about the gate for too long, so I entered through it with the brisk pace that felt surprisingly good. Moving forward feels good. So I walk towards the main building of Yamaku Academy with this brisk pace. I'm alone, as my parents are taking my stuff to the dorms, and there's supposed to be someone waiting for me. The grounds are incredibly lush, filled with green. It doesn't feel like the kind of grounds a school would have, more like a park, with a clean walkway going past the trees, and the smell of fresh cut grass, and all other park-like things. That sounds really nice, actually. The words clean and hygienic pop into my mind. It makes me shudder. I shake them off. Stay open-minded now. It's your new life. You have to take it as it comes. That's what I tell myself. A few big buildings loom behind the leafy canopies. Too big and too many for just a school. Everything seems off. It's different from what I thought. I knew about schools. Sorry, it's different from what I thought I knew about schools. That was one sentence. It's an uncanny valley. Even though I was told this was my new school, in the back of my mind, it doesn't feel like one. I wonder if the feeling is real or caused by my expectations of a school for the disabled. Speaking of that, I don't see anyone else here. It's kinda eerie. It makes me wish there was somebody here so I could anchor myself to something tangible instead of having this feeling that I stepped into another dimension. The trees hum with the wind, and the green hues flashing all around me catch my attention. It makes me think about hospitals again, how they say that the operating rooms are painted green because green is a calming color. So why am I feeling so anxious despite all this greenery? Only after I stand in front of the haunty main building, I surprise myself by realizing why the gate bothered me. It was the last chance I had to turn back, even if I had no life I could return to. But still, after entering, there was absolutely no way I could go back anymore. Feeling nervous, and with this realization set in my head, I opened the front door. Ooh, nice. A tall man with bad posture notices me as I enter. We're the only people in the lobby, so it's only logical. Ooh, you can tell this is 2009 art, just saying. Doesn't look bad, but you can tell it's 2009. You must be... Nikki? Nakai. Oh, that must be the last name. You sound Nakai. So you are! Excellent. I'm your homeroom and science teacher. My name is Muto. What did you just realize? Welcome. We exchange a handshake, and it's neither firm nor sloppy, and he looks at his watch. The head nurse asked you for a brief check-in visit, but there's no time for that now. Oh, should I go later? Yes, afternoon is probably fine. We should get going and introduce you to the rest of the class. They're waiting already. Waiting for me? I don't really like being the center of attention, but I guess it's inevitable in a situation like this. Somehow, not knowing what's waiting for me makes me feel really nervous. Thinking of this, I almost miss what the teacher is saying. Oh, you weren't following me? Oh, thank you. That's nice. Thank you. Do you want to introduce yourself to the class? Why, of course. Yeah. Yeah, sure. I mean, isn't that normal? Of course, but not everyone likes to be the center of attention. I'm probably one of those people, but I guess I should be the one to give the first impression of myself. Right, but it's no problem. Let's go then. My heart is pounding in my chest, and it keeps me thinking about my condition as I follow the teacher up the stairs. The third door down the third floor corridor marked as the classroom for the class 3-3. That is a sentence. I'm probably gonna say all of these names wrong. I'm really sorry, everybody. Muto opens the door and enters. Good morning, everyone. Sorry I'm late again. I hesitate for a split second at the door, freezing at the spot. Get a grip. This is a big step, I know that, but there isn't any point to worrying so much about it. At least, not this soon. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's see if we can pick... This guy's got a cane, so he's got some sort of mobility issue. I know her condition because I've seen pictures of her, but I'm not gonna say anything. This guy's got something going on with his ears. This girl, I reckon this eye here is fake, and like she's missing an eye. She's just got a bandage. It also looks like she's the only one of color in the thing, which for a game from 4chan, I'm surprised there's even one. I forgot to read the dialogue, I'm sorry. It's pretty spacious. The ceiling is unusually high and there's lots of space left over around and in between the desks. An entire wall taken up by blackboards and the high old-fashioned windows only make it seem larger. The students' desks are just standard wooden desks with a shelf underneath for books and wooden chairs with metal frames. Simple and efficient. I stopped walking in front of the classroom and faced the other students. They all look normal, like students in any other school. But then, why would they be here? They're probably like me, and have something wrong with them. Only, it's just not immediately obvious. Then, I noticed that one of the girls seems to be missing a thumb on her right hand. That's a little jarring. Despite the natural tendency to listen when someone's talking about you, I tune out the teacher's speech halfway through while he introduces me to the class. Which one's the one missing the thumb? I don't see her. That guy... Are his eyes closed or is he having a heart attack? I can't tell. Oh no, there is another character of color here. I think she's just straight up... Oh no, I was unsure if she didn't have an arm, but no, I think she's just got prosthetic legs. I think you've got a knee brace. That's the knee brace that I wear to work. So, that's... Yeah, that's lovely. I notice a flash of dark hair and see that someone is looking at me. A girl with really long, straight hair that is pretty eye-catching. As she sees me looking back at her, she covers her face with her hands, as if it will make her invisible. There's one boy with a cane leaning against the locker at the rear end of the class. It's weird seeing someone so young with a cane. Oh my god, I was absolutely horrified at the thought that I would need a cane when my knee started fucking up. And to be clear, my knee is still fucked up, and it is still undiagnosed. It's been 3 weeks, and we still don't know what's wrong with my knee. I just know that it's not arthritis. But, like, the idea of being so young and, like, having mobility issues to the point where I need a cane is, like, it actually keeps me up at night. Man, 2009 would have chalkboards. Yeah, absolutely. I think the front right girl has a condition that makes it easy for her to get cut and bruised. Ah, like me. Except I don't know if that counts as a disability. I just wake up with bruises everywhere. Another girl seems to be making some weird hand motions. Sign language? She peers over at me at the rims of her glasses, then goes back to whatever she's doing. She's kind of cute, so is the cheery-looking girl with pink hair sitting next to her. Oh, so this one must be the one making hand gestures? Because there's only one pink-haired girl. She's really hard to miss. I don't know how I didn't notice her the moment I walked in. Please welcome our newest classmate. He claps his hands, and so does everyone else, except one girl in the first row who has only one hand. Oh, that's not nice. I cringe a little, but hide it by bowing in thanks for this applause I did not deserve. A collective silence tells me I should open my mouth now. So, I'm Hisao Nakai, and after that, my hobbies are reading and soccer. I hope to get along well with everyone, even though I'm a new student. And after that, I'm being so boring. This is exactly like every self-introduction ever. I should say something more exciting. I end up saying nothing, and the teacher picks up from there. Everyone seems to be satisfied, even with what little I said, though. A few girls are whispering to each other, throwing glances at me. It could have gone worse. I listen to the teacher as he drones about getting along while letting my gaze sweep across the classroom. Everyone seems to be listening to him intently, and when he's done, they clap their hands again, which feels like a weird thing to do. The first row girl claps... The first row girl claps on this round with her one hand against her other wrist that ends in a bandaged stump. Oh, okay, so like that. Okay, yeah, fair. I realized that I demonstrated and then I don't have my camera on, so you guys can't even see what I did, sorry. It makes me feel a little bad. We're going to be doing some group work today, so that'll give you a chance to talk with everyone. Is that okay with you? Yeah, that's fine with me. Good. Sorry, that's good. You can work with Hakamichi. She's a class representative. She can explain anything you might want to know, and who else would be able to do that better, right? How could I know? The teacher passes out the day's assignments and announces that we'll be working in groups of 3. It hits me that I don't know who Hakamichi is. Slow, the teacher seems to catch my helpless expression. Oh, right. Hakamichi is right there. Shizune Hakamichi, there we go. Also ding a fashion for him. Oh, you're Hakamichi! You're the pink bubbly girl. As he calls out her name, the cute bubbly looking girl with the bright pink hair and gold eyes waves her hand at me. I take a seat next to her by the window. Hey, I guess you're Hakamichi, right? It's nice to meet you. What? I'm caught off guard by her laughter. Also doing a fashion for him. Okay, that makes sense. It's nice to meet you too, but I'm not Hakamichi. I'm Misha. This is Hakamichi's, She-chan. There we go. Oh, you're Hakamichi, gotcha. Giggling, Misha points at the girl next to her, the one who I saw using sign language before. It looks like she's been staring at me this whole time. She nods once nonchalantly to show that she acknowledges my presence, but only barely. She has short, yet carefully, neatly brushed hair, a pair of oval-shaped glasses balanced on the tip of her dainty nose, dark blue eyes that seem to alternate every few seconds between analytical and slightly bored. Nice to meet you. She immediately looks at Misha, who smiles and makes a few quick gestures with her hands. Oh, Misha is the interpreter for Hakamichi. Okay. So I'm assuming that Misha herself is not disabled, like, at all. She's like an able-bodied person, and she's literally just here to be Hakamichi's interpreter. I think. Hakamichi nods and makes a few gestures of her own. I start to wonder if the teacher was messing with me, saying things like you'll be able to talk to people and who better to explain things to you. That's such a cruel joke if that's what happened. I can see you're a little confused, right? Right? But I understand why you would think I was She-chan. Hakamichi's deaf, yeah. She-chan is deaf, so I'm the person who translates everything back and forth to her. I'm like an interpreter. She says it's nice to meet you too. You're the new student, aren't you? Well, She-chan, of course he is. If he wasn't, he wouldn't have been standing up there for no reason, right? Right? He seems like a very interesting person, doesn't he? We knew there was going to be a new student, but we didn't know who would be here today. So soon, He-chan, right? He-chan? Yup, it fits, doesn't it? Oh yeah, so we're He-chan now. Did I say it out loud? It's just a surprise. I never liked that nickname. I don't really see how. It fits! You look just as I imagined! She's precious. I like her. She's cute. Yeah, you do look just like a He-chan. I wonder why everyone seems to think so. Hakamichi taps her fingers on the desk to get Misha's attention. They gesture back and forth to each other excitedly, their hands a blur. Misha seems a little overwhelmed. Sorry about that. She-chan wants you to know that she's the class rep, so if there's anything you need to know, you can feel free to ask her. Do you like the school so far? We can show you around a little if you haven't had a time to walk around and familiarize yourself with it. Misha stumbles with the hard word a bit, making it stick out in her otherwise fluid translation. Thanks, that would be pretty helpful, yeah. I just kinda came straight to class today. That's no good. You should always try to learn as much as you can about where you're going before you go there. Not just with school, either. Anyways... Sorry, my throat's still a bit sore from yesterday. Head pats for the cute deaf girl? I know, right? Pat, 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 pat. She's so cute. Even if it's just a trip to the convenience store. Really, Shi-chan? Learn about where you're going. I guess I didn't bother to do that. Oh, sorry. Wrong voice. Learn about where you're going. I guess I didn't bother to do that, or just didn't care enough to do so. I didn't look forward to this, even if I committed myself to go along with it half-assedly. But anyway. I don't say anything, and Misha signs something that ends in a shrug. What was that? It seemed like it was about me. I feel like slumping over in my seat. Both of them are smiling, but that shrug hit me unexpectedly deep. You look down. Are you okay? Don't take it the wrong way, please. I hate it when people are afraid to ask questions. That's how people learn things, by asking. I agree. There's a girl at my day job who, like, she really hesitates to ask for help and questions and stuff. And whenever she does ask and I go and help her, I get, like, bombarded with 16, like, I'm sorry. It's like, dude, you don't need to apologize. The way you learn is by asking questions. I'm here to answer your questions. Like, ask me things. I don't know how I feel about this, but your voice for Misha sounds like Tracer? You mean like Overwatch Tracer? I'm not sure about that one. I don't know what Overwatch Tracer sounds like, to be fair. Asking for help is perfectly normal, as much as needing help. Stop looking like you just failed a test. Alright. And another thing, if you don't have to call Shi-chan something so formal like Hakamichi or class rep all the time. Just call her Shi-chan. Yeah, I'll have to have a look at what she sounds like. Okay, maybe that's too casual. Maybe Shizune? I think that's how you say it. No, Shizune. It would be Shizune. Maybe Shizune would be more appropriate? Yup, Shizune is fine. Okay, that would make it a lot easier for me. I feel a lot more at ease. Both of them seem so friendly, so I feel like an idiot for being so apprehensive earlier. Especially about Shizune, who I assumed would be all business. Well, she still seems like that, but just less so, I guess. She sounds like you. I'll pull it up after the stream. You got me curious now. Huh? Oh, right. We haven't even touched the assignment. We should start work now, or Shi-chan will get mad. The assignment is also kind of long, so we should start now if we want to finish it before the end of class. That too. Shizune glares at the two of us impatiently. I don't need to know sign language to understand that. Okay, I get the message. After class, we can take a walk around the grounds together. It's a nice day, okay? The assignment is actually very challenging to get through, combining aspects of being both difficult and unnecessarily long. God, sounds like my partner's TAFE course. Still, we finish it a few minutes earlier than anyone else in class, despite our late start. Shizune and Misha are really capable. They're quite different, though. The class rep is as calm and professional as she looks, while Misha is a lot more playful and girlish, not to mention a little more easily distracted. Oh my gosh, is Misha like ADHD brain? That'd be really funny. To be honest, the two of them did most of the work. I feel guilty about that. The clock tower bell rings, signaling the end of the period. Time for lunch. Without knowing what else to do, I follow Misha, who is beckoning me into the hallway and down the stairs. We descend even below the lobby where I met Muto, I think is what I said it was. down to the bottom floor. Just like everything in this school, the cafeteria seems so spacious and oddly modern in contrast to the classic exterior. Its big windows open to the courtyard towards the main gate. It's the cafeteria! Her enthusiastic statement of the obvious makes people around us stare, but Misha doesn't seem to care, so we proceed to the line. There's a rather long list of menu options, which seem great until I realize that many of them are to accommodate students who need special diets. Now what do you mean? That's still great. That's still really good. How nice! It almost feels like I'm back at the hospital, eating portions measured with scientific precisions to meet the needs of the patients. Okay, yeah, I can see why that's a bit of an issue, you know. I pick something at random and follow Shizune to the table, sitting opposite of her. As I nibble indifferently at the food I'd rather not eat, Misha pokes me in the side to get my attention and points to Shizune. I don't understand sign, so the point escapes me. Maybe looking at a person who talks to you is proper and polite? Do you want to know something? What? About anything. We're your guides, so you should ask if there's something. I wonder. Let's see. Ask about Shizune's deafness. I think I got everything I need. Ask about the library. Ooh, the library is more, like, self-centered. Like, hey, I want to go to the library right now. Like, if we ask about Shizune... I feel like that's the way to go, actually. Let's ask about Shizune. Shizune intrigues me. I kind of want to ask something about her. But I can't really ask about something that personal, can I? I can't come up with anything else to ask, so I just focus on my food while the girls talk between themselves. What? Are we not gonna ask about her deafness? Seriously? Misha and Shizune sign back and forth very adamantly, throwing sideways glances at me, but Misha refrains from translating. Maybe they're talking about a secret girl stuff or something? I quickly notice the conversation in silence is not enough to fill a silence. Damn, I really wanted to ask. Fuck. We arrive in the classroom early, but we're not the first. That dark-haired girl I noticed before is slumped over the desk in the last row. She jumps a little when Misha crashes into the room with the elegance of a rhino. She shrinks deeper into her seat. She shrinks deeper into her seat. I can feel her tension all the way from here, as if she was slowly turning to stone just from our presence. Oh good, spacebar works. I'm gonna quickly take off my jacket, because I've set my heater to, like, just keep the room temperate, but it's gotten really warm in here all of a sudden, so I'm just gonna quickly joink this off. Misha and Shizune either don't notice or don't mind it as they walk directly past her to their seats and begin to converse. I'm left wondering about her, even when the classroom slowly fills with other students, and finally the teacher. Getting into the rhythm of school feels strange, as if my brain remembers how this is done, but my body doesn't. Towards the end of class, I start yawning and counting the minutes left. I shouldn't be this tired on my first day of school. Maybe it's the long time spent in the hospital that makes me like this. I'm even feeling physically weak and lifeless. This is another thing that I kind of relate to. Where before I got my 4-month-long undiagnosed pain, I was working 5, 6, and on the rare occasions 7 days a week at my other job, my day job. And then I got really sick for 4 months. I was basically bedrotting most of those 4 months. And then I finally got my diagnosis and was able to, like, properly get back to work. And I can, at the maximum, work 4 days a week now. And 4 days a week is pushing it. I can work comfortably at 3 days a week. And I've never been able to properly go back to working my day job the amount of hours that I used to. Not that I want to, but, like, even if I did want to, I can't. Before long, the final bell rings. School is finally over for the day. Beside me, Misha and Shizune are having a short conversation. After a bit of deliberation, Misha turns to me. Unfortunately, we can't stay and show you around today, Hee-chan. We've got to hurry already, since there's a lot of work for us to do. You'll find your way around here, I'm sure of it. Wait, the teacher said I have to see the nurse. Where do I have to go? Is that so? We can at least show you that much. Come on. The nurses have their own building, so we have to go outside. We join the flow of students making their way down the stairwell and outside, with the girls pointing out other senior classrooms in the same hallway as ours. Oh, so we're a senior. Okay, that makes sense. I'm gonna turn my heater, like, up, actually. It's getting way too hot. I didn't set it to heat, but, like, it just got really hot really quickly. When we get outside, the girls make their way to a smaller building right next to the school. It's built in the same style, so it looks like it's actually part of the main building. This is the auxiliary building here. There's a lot of official and important stuff inside, like the Yakumu Foundation office and all the nurses' offices. They even have a swimming pool. How is that official? Don't be silly, Hee-chan. It's for physical therapy, of course. Anyway, all the nursing staff facilities are here too. The head nurse office is on the first floor. You'll be fine from here, right? We'll be going then. See you tomorrow. Yeah, thanks. Bye. The whole building for stuff that has nothing to do with the actual education. I guess it's necessary for a place like this. I walk in, hoping that this really will be only a quick visit like the teacher said. On a white door on the left is a green cross with the text head nurse and a nameplate. A voice from inside responds to my knock almost immediately, but I can't quite make it out. It sounded a bit like an invitation to open the door, so I invite myself further in. The room is not large, and it smells strange. A friendly-looking man turns around on his office chair to face me as I enter. His desk is neat and tidy, but the bin under the table is overflowing with used medical utensils, and there are at least a dozen coffee cup rings lingering on the desk. Hello there. What can I do for you today? He's a young-looking, sort of rugged, but the dimples in his cheeks wash that impression away when he smiles. Are you the nurse? He smiles like a person who has heard this very same question hundreds of times. Why, yes I am. It says so on the door, no? You can call me by name or just the nurse like everyone else. Of course, I shake off my confusion, realizing I probably should grab his extended hand. His handshake is rather firm and friendly. Oh my god, Nomad, thank you so much! Oh, I appreciate that. That's really sweet. Thank you. Right. I'm a new student, and my homeroom teacher told me to come and meet you. My name is Hisao Nakai. His eyes light up with revelation, and he snaps his fingers. I will not be contained by ads. Excellent. You show those ads who's boss. Oh, you're that, Nakai! I was reading your file this morning. Some kind of chronic arrhythmia and related congenital heart muscle deficiency, right? He gestures me to sit down in a vacant armchair in front of his desk. Yeah. Good! Well, you've probably been briefed about the school enough, so I'll just go over this quickly. We have all kinds of facilities available, mostly physical therapy and stuff. There's always someone from my staff around, even at night, so never hesitate to call us if there's a problem. The famous 24-hour nursing staff. Wow, this is like a hospital. Well, not exactly. For instance, we don't do brain surgery here. Alright, that's funny. His joke feels so out of place that I'm left thinking why he even said it. Oh, come on, I thought it was funny. Yeah, just that it's really weird to have so many medical people at a school. You'll get used to it. I'm not sure of that myself, but I don't let the nurse know it. Now, let me just find your file again. While he searches for something from his computer and shuffles stacks of paper around, my gaze wander around the room. It's the epitome of generic, I'd like to say. Beige walls and ceiling, dark grey laminate flooring, and all the equipment you'd expect from a school nurse's office. Even the ridiculous educational posters are hanging on all four walls, reminding me to eat properly 3 times a day from all the food groups. Smiling, the nurse draws a thick file from a stack of similarly thick files and opens it. So you already have medication for the arrhythmia. Just remember to take your pills every morning and evening or it won't be much help. Apart from that, do you do any sports? Rash-like stuff? I don't know, boxing? He grins at his own joke, but I don't. Well, I played soccer occasionally with some classmates. Alright, I'm afraid I'm going to have to recommend you refrain from doing that. At least for the time being. Oh. My lack of reaction makes him raise an eyebrow, but really, I'm not too bothered by him forbidding me to kick a ball around. I guess I never really did it out of burning passion for the sport, just to have something to do. Any kind of concussion might be very dangerous for your heart, and risking another attack is not a good idea. Was the previous one caused by sudden concussion to the chest area? There is no mention of the cause in your papers. Not exactly. I sidestep the question acceptably, and he glances over his papers with a more serious expression on his face. Still, you need to keep your body healthy, so some exercise would do you good. We have physical therapy and such available, as I said, but I don't think you really need such heavy measures. Just get some light exercise regularly. Brisk walks, or even light jogging, jumping rope, that sort of thing. Swimming, maybe? There is a pool here. So I was told. You were? Very good. At any rate, I'm sure you've been told this before, you just need to take care not to overexert yourself. He wags his finger to emphasize the point. No need, really. I've heard this 1,000 times already. Absolutely no unnecessary risks. Take care of yourself. Okay. He goes over my papers one more time and sets them on the desk, obviously content. Good. That's it then. Come meet me if you ever need something. I'm ushered out before I even realize it. A quick visit indeed. I end up standing in front of the main building at the auxiliary building, I end up standing in front of the main building and the auxiliary building, although to my eyes they still look like one and the same. It's the first real look I get at the other students, so I watch people coming out of the school going towards the gate or the dorms. Everyone seems to know where they're going. And I still keep thinking that most of them don't look too special for being students at a special school. Then again, neither do I. Does that make me one of them? Well, yeah, it's called an invisible disability. One of us? I should go somewhere too, to prevent me from getting lost. It's around dinner time, but I feel tired instead of hungry. The wariness in me only grows as I trudge towards the dorms, set a little way apart from the main building complex. There's a garden of sorts between the school and the dorms. Shrubbery, flowers, and an overbearing smell of fresh-cut grass that fills the atmosphere. It dawns on my tired mind that the smell feels novel because I haven't been outside at all for so long. The dorm building is big and made of red brick, like the others. It feels way too pompous for what it is, so I push forward, going inside. This feels very bland, this photo. I'm assuming it's a photo, yeah. It takes more time than necessary to fish out the key I was given from my pocket. Room 119. Despite the ornate exterior, the inside of the dorm is fairly new, functional, and boring. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Just like the main building, the halls and doors are wide to accommodate wheelchairs. Same goes for the elevators at the end of the hallways. I poke my head around the corner of the common room door. Inside, a few students are watching the television. One nods and gives a quick hello before turning back to the TV. It seems that only the girls around here are sociable. I suppose that's perfectly fine with me. I climb the stairs to the upper floor. Here, small corridors branch off from the main hallway. Each of these minor halls seems to have a toilet, a shower, as well as 4 rooms. About halfway down the hall, I spy room 119. The nameplates on the rooms adjacent to mine are blank. I guess there are just 2 of us here. Light shines from below the door of room 117, so I knock lightly. Hello? Is anyone home? From inside, I hear a few movements, then the clicking of way more locks than I thought these doors had. Oh god. After a moment, the door squeaks open. Oh my god, is it Harry Potter? What's this fucking Harry Potter looking ass doing here? A bespectacled, I can't even say that word. Bespectacled, there we go. Boy is standing in the doorway. He's looking at me intently through his extremely thick eyeglasses. Seems like the right era. Yeah, true, but this is... I wonder how well this is gonna age. Who is it? Blind? No, at least not completely. Why would he have eyeglasses if he was? He leans closer to me until our noses are almost touching. His breath stinks of garlic. Okay, I don't think this is gonna age poorly. I think this is gonna be hilarious. Hisao Nakai. I'm moving into the room next door. I thought I should introduce myself. His face suddenly brightens in realization and he stands back upright, thrusting his hand out in a smiling greeting almost straight to my diaphragm. Oh god, he almost gave us another heart attack. Oh, sup, dude? Sorry, I gotta give him his name. Oh, sup, dude? My name's Kenji. Ah, hi. I take Kenji's sweaty hand and shake it, still a little rattled by the sudden change of attitude and vehement welcome. There was some suspicious-looking people going in and out of your room earlier. It was probably my parents. Your parents? You sure? Because they could have been some other people too. You can't judge a book by its cover. Oh shit, did the fucking... Oh no, it didn't work. I gotta click out of the game to make it work. I thought it worked. I had it refreshed and everything. Hang on. I'm so sorry.
Don't let your kids watch it!
Oh, okay. The sound worked. I definitely heard it. Did you guys see it? Hang on, I'm gonna try again.
Don't let your kids watch it!
Okay, I can definitely hear it. Where's the fucking... Where's the visual? Wait, hang on. Channel... No, where's the fucking... points. Here we go. Don't let your kids watch it. Let's edit this. Where's the video? Okay, so it should be... Is it transfer Twitch or just Twitch? Okay, no. Twitch... points... Yeah, there it is. Why isn't it working? I see it. It's right there. It's exactly where the program thinks it is. Let's see. There. Can we try it again? No, I don't want to do that. Here did not see, same didn't see, OBS moment. Let me refresh it again. Oh, I know why you guys can't see it. I think... Okay, wait. This is really strange. I'm trying to move the thing. It's not... Where are the... I think I know why you guys can't see it. I don't know how to explain this, but it's gone off screen, and I can't click it to bring it back on screen. It's gone way too far off the screen. I think I need to make a new mix-it-up browser. No, it's not the layering, it's the fact that it's like... I think I need to make a new mix-it-up browser, 1 second. I'll just call it Mix It Up 2. Alright, now if we make this... I believe my thing is 1080 by 720. I think that's what my resolution is. What was the first one? Oh, I don't even have the first one anymore. Hang on. I'm so sorry. I don't know why it's doing this. Let's bring this one back. This is... Oh, sorry. 1280. Alright, let's try now. Maybe it should work. Maybe it'll work now. I think I fixed it. There you go! I fixed it.
Don't let your kids watch it!
That makes sense. Yep, got it. Sorry guys, I fixed it though. Alright, we've got conspiracy theorist Harry Potter looking ass. His out of place proverb is left hanging between us awkwardly as I try to think of some way to respond. I'd say the chances are high enough. He shudders and makes some exaggerated hand gestures. You're a brave man, he sowl. Me? I don't think I could trust the chances. The only one I trust is myself. Does that mean I shouldn't get to know you either? He thinks about this for a while. A wise decision. Damn, you're smarter than you look. Probably. Do what you like. What do you look like? What do you look like? I hope not smart? What does that mean? He squints his eyes and leans- Oh, he must be like really badly blind. He squints his eyes and leans closer again, but I lean backwards to dodge it. Never mind. It doesn't matter. With that, he turns, fumbles around for a moment in search of the door handle, and shuts the door behind him. Okay. I think he's definitely some form of blind. I slide a key into the lock of the door marked 119. Bleak, beige walls, white linen, a desk made of some type of light wood, ugly curtains. It's no one's room. Impersonal. Like my hospital room was. My bags are sitting at the foot of the bed, looking a lot emptier than they did this morning. The closet is sitting open, stocked with my clothes. Also, it seems that there are a number of school uniforms hanging there as well. A note is pinned to the sleeve of one of the shirts. Hi, Hichan. We've unpacked your things and made your bed. They said that if these don't fit, then you should go to the office tomorrow. If you should have any problems, you can always call us. Love, Mum and Dad. Well, at least I don't have to worry about unpacking. I kind of hoped I would have. Then there would be something to do. It's still too early. I put the note down on the desktop and lie down on the bed, feeling drained. Lying there makes me want to read something, but I have nothing with me. I wonder if the hospital conditioned me for wanting to read whenever I have nothing to do. The restless urge just keeps growing until I have to stand up. Maybe it's stress or something. I was pretty nervous about it before. Coming, and for the entire day too. I still am, I think. Damn, I have to distract myself somehow, so I won't be this unnatural all the time. Tomorrow I'll borrow some books from the library. Yeah, I'll do that. But for now, a bottle of medications neatly arranged on my night table catch my eye. I pick up one and shake it just to hear the contents rattle inside, and then read the glued-on pharmacy label. Hisawa Nakai, 2 tablets a day, daily to stay alive. That is not what life-saving medication says. It will never ever say to stay alive, but thanks 4chan. Oh, it doesn't really say that. Okay, good. But it could just as well. Kinda twisted, having your life depend on chemicals like this. I resent it a little, but what choice do I have? With a sigh, I begin my new daily ritual of taking the right number of pills from each bottle, being careful to check the correct dosages. I lie down again, feeling hollow and uncertain, and after that I keep staring at the blank, unfamiliar ceiling for a long time. It doesn't start looking any more familiar, not even after darkness falls and long shadows draw across my room like fingers. The sheets feel slightly more comfortable, warm and nest-like against the chill that passes for room temperature here. Soon, the lighter shade of darkness that is the ceiling looks like every ceiling does at night, and it becomes the only thing I recognize anymore. The night beckons to me to sleep, and I feel the coldness of unfamiliarity and fear creeping up my spine once again. I keep drifting further and further away from the life I knew. How are you guys feeling? I'm actually really enjoying this so far. Especially because, again, not to the same degree the main character is feeling it, but I relate to a lot of the stuff that they're going through. Emotionally, at least. I've never, spent 4 months in a hospital, and I hope, where's the wood, that I never do. I wake up in a strange room. Solid morning light shimmers against the light grey ceiling. I had forgotten to draw the curtains closed last night. This is my room, isn't it? Oh my god, I always feel like that when I move to a new place. It's like, oh god, this is my room now. My room. This is the 3rd room this year that I'm supposed to call mine. Various things around here remind me that, indeed, it's me who is supposed to be the one living here. My bags on the floor, my new school books on the desk, my numerous medications on the night table. I stare at the bottles for a moment, deliberating until I open the bottle, shake out a pill, and pop out a tablet from the foiled sheet. I down them with a chaser of water without thinking about the chemistry. My uniforms are in the closet. I slink out from under the sheets and stretch my back before dressing up. Putting on a new school uniform feels like dressing in someone else's clothes. The artificial smell of generic detergent invades my nose, but the feeling of fresh cloth against my back is a good one, a natural one. It feels like a school uniform as it should. It's not much different from what I used to wear before. That goes for other things too. So far this place seems more or less like a normal school. Except for the people. I think back to my talk with Kenji yesterday, Misha's constant laughter, and Shizune's sweeping sign language gestures. Well, I've only met 3 students so far. Maybe they aren't that normal, but I'm sure others are. Or perhaps, people like them are what passes for normal around here. Yeah, what does pass for normal around here? What do people do? I didn't see a lot of kids hanging around after classes yesterday, so maybe there are clubs? If so, I wonder if I should join one. All through class, the question remains on my mind, so I sat there. I can't fucking read today! My disability is dyslexia, fuck! Anyway, sorry. All through class, the question remains on my mind, so I decide to ask Shizune about it when we split into groups. After all, she did say if I had anything I wanted to know, I should ask her. She crosses her arms and shifts her gaze slowly to Misha, who looks more preoccupied with trying to grind the eraser of her pencil down so that the top is perfect and evenly flat. Oh my god, I do that too. Why are you staring at me like that? It's not my fault, I don't know sign language. Sorry, Shi-chan. Is there something you wanted from me? Oh, I see. That's a good question, Hee-chan. My first thought is that means she doesn't know, which is worrying. Maybe I'm being too negative. Well, anyway, Misha, please don't prove me right. Oh, that's right! Everyone's encouraged to join a club. A lot of people do so because there isn't really anything else to do. There are also school events, like the festival coming up in a few days. Almost every student in the school tends to help out with it, doing whatever. So, you actually transferred in at a busy time. Maybe you can help out too. Sure. What's the festival about? Misha freezes. I don't know, Hee-chan. The truth is, it's a local event, and I'm not from this area, so... She starts signing desperately to Shizune, asking her to bail her out. Shizune adjusts her glasses at the end of an oddly grandiose flourish and starts signing hard and heavy. Huh? Oh. Who cares? Misha puffs out her chest as she shouts Shizune's words at me with a disproportionate amount of pride. Too loud, I can see heads turning to look in her direction. So loud. Human beings evolve with each new generation. The ideals and beliefs behind a festival will inevitably change with time. Oh my god, yes! Yes! Australia Day. Australia Day. I just want to enjoy the festivals, go play some carnival games, go eat some new food, go and enjoy the holiday markets, and not get called a fucking colonizer, especially because my family is an immigrant family. I just want to enjoy the holiday. Leave me alone. Oh, fuck. Sorry. I feel that one in my core. Now it's about delicious fried food and amusing little games that you play to win prizes. The teacher clears his throat very loudly, batting his long wooden pointer against his other palm like a baton. He shoots pointed gaze at us. Finally noticing where we are, Misha stifles a yelp and quickly quiets down. Shizune doesn't seem embarrassed at all, though, brushing it off without a care. We are in the middle of class, and I should start working. That's right, Shi-chan. What? That's right. Hee-chan, are you asking because you're interested in joining a club? It could have been my eyes playing tricks on me, but I think I saw a suspicious glance exchange between them. Misha's tone has also changed, although it does that with every other word anyway. Yeah, I was thinking about it. Misha and Shizune look at each other again. I'm about to ask what they have in mind when something dark flutters in my peripheral vision, catching my attention. Out of the corner of my eye, I see the girl with the long dark hair get up from her desk and slip silently towards the door. It doesn't seem like she was working in any group, but no one seems to notice her but me. I glance at the teacher who's also looking at the dark-haired girl go, why doesn't he say anything? Hee-chan? Is something wrong? Do I look as uneasy as I feel? Or was Misha just looking at me looking after the girl who left? No, nothing. Oh, she looks so happy. Look at her. I love her. She's so precious. Okay. Well, like we were asking, you don't have any plans for lunch today, do you? I thought I could go to the library and pick up some books. Not really. Do you want to have lunch together then? Sure. Yay! Okay, Hee-chan. Perfect. The rest of class passes uneventfully. The girl with the long hair never came back. Before I had the time to put any more thought into where she could have gone, the teacher informs us that it's time to stop working. Shizune looks more than a little annoyed that we only just barely managed to finish all of our work on time. I'm just glad we finished it at all. It's not a contest or anything. Yes, it is, Hee-chan. Impossible. Really? Really. I've noticed this before, but it's kind of funny how Misha is always moving her hands and signing not only everything she says, but what anyone else says and is saying at any given time. Obviously, it must be so Shizune can understand it. Her eyes dart back and forth between Misha's hands and me. I don't know who I'm supposed to be looking at. I'm talking to Misha, but that might be wrong? Maybe I should face Shizune. I'm used to looking in the direction of the person whose voice I'm hearing, but really, Shizune can't hear me. But it would be disrespectful to talk to her only through Misha. Then again, isn't that kind of what she's doing? No, at least looking. No, she's at least looking at me. This is very confusing, and it will take some time to get used to. Yeah. If I ever have to deal with someone who's completely deaf and an interpreter, that's, yeah. I understand your pain, man. It's not a contest, because contests have competitions over a prize. There's no prize on the line. It's not really a contest. Shizune's eyes flash dangerously with a competitive glare. She stares at me as if surprised that I'm challenging her. I think maybe this is a contest to her. I've never noticed before how dark and blue her eyes are. It's truly an alluring gaze. Are you sure, Hee-chan? Very sure. You're wrong, Hee-chan, because I don't want to be the slowest one in the class. Therefore, what's on the line is my confidence in my abilities, and the prize is the satisfaction of proving them. Oh my god, Shizune, that's awesome. My brother is looking to learn sign one day in case he ever has a kid that is deaf or hard of hearing. That's awesome. I love that. I've considered it before, but given the fact that I struggle learning any new spoken language, I feel like I'm going to struggle with sign language. And I think I want to wait at least a couple more years, because with the invention of iPhones and stuff like that, like people having to hold their phone with one hand and like talk or sign with their other hand when they're filming, sign language is very, very slowly evolving to be a one-handed language. And we are currently experiencing the beginning of sign language turning into a one-handed language. And so I feel like if I am gonna learn sign, I want to wait a couple of years until that evolution and like becoming one-handed is a little further along, because I don't want to learn something and then immediately be like, oh, you can do it like that, but most people do it like this now with the one hand. So we'll see how that goes. It's apparently one of the easiest languages to learn from what I've heard, so don't quote me. Okay, that's fair enough. It would be nice to know that the language specifically designed for people with disabilities is easily accessible. That would be nice to know. Shizune pushes her glasses up the bridge of her nose in a very matter-of-fact way. I'd argue more, but the bell rings and she quickly gets up and picks up her bag, looking at me expectantly. I'd almost forgotten that I was supposed to have lunch with them. Where do you want to eat? The cafeteria? That's so plain. Okay, let's go. Plain? Well, I guess. At my old school, I'd like to eat outside, near the back of the building. It was a good spot, but I didn't find it until near the end of my freshman year. I wonder if there's a similar place to eat here. Misha seems to imply as much, sorry, I can't read, guys. Shizune and Misha pull me towards the cafeteria, which is surprisingly not packed. Maybe some students favor eating in classrooms or outdoors. I saw some of my classmates had boxed lunches. After we finish eating, Misha picks up where we left off earlier. So, Hee-chan, you wanted to know about clubs and stuff, right? Right, Hee-chan. Okay, I guess it makes sense to ask first. Exchanging little nods of confirmation, they turn to face me again, and Misha straightens her posture as if she is about to deliver a speech. Hee-chan, if you don't have anything you're already do you have anything you're really interested in? I used to play soccer, but I'm not really into it. I don't follow the teams and players or anything like that. As of late, I usually just read a lot. There is a book club, right, Shi-chan? Right! But it seems like they have all the members they can possibly have right now. I'm sorry, Hee-chan. It's a really popular club. Ah, okay. But more to the point, Hee-chan, does this mean that you don't have anything already in mind? Not really. Good, great. That's great, Hee-chan, really great. Why is that so great? Right, it's 2009, books and reading is still a thing. I mean, I like to keep books and reading alive still. I haven't unpacked all of my books from when I moved here, like almost a year ago, because I was not expecting to be here for very long, which is true, we won't be here for too much longer. But when my partner and I move to our new place, and I'm finally able to unpack all of that stuff, I would love to do reading streams. Which is really funny because you've seen me fumble and be dyslexic as fuck, like, multiple times in this game today. But I think it would be fun. I think it's nice. Maybe we can do some, like, ASMR reading. I need to get a new microphone for that, though, because this microphone is on its way out. I would love a new microphone. I just can't afford it right now. Why is that so great?
No reason. Well, Hee-chan, unlike, other than clubs and the upcoming festival, there is one other thing. Student council.
I see. I didn't know this school had a student council. That was a very melodramatic step-up, though, just to tell me that. I'm pretty sure the two of them know this, because Shizune looks a little embarrassed about it, and Misha is laughing. Shizune quickly retakes control of the discussion in a manner of speaking. After all, it's still Misha who has the voice, whatever she says.
Right? Hee-chan, maybe you should join the student council. They could use more people. Yes, definitely. You should definitely join.
Why?
Well, for one, we could hang out every day, Hee-chan. Shi-chan and I both are in the student council. Actually, Shi-chan's the president.
I'm starting to get the suspicion that Shizune and Misha might not exactly be the most unbiased people to talk with about this. As if reading my mind, Shizune quickly adjusts her glasses and signs something to Misha.
Of course, we're not trying to get you to join the council. We're not trying to get you to join just because we would obviously benefit from you joining the student council and therefore have an incentive to try and get you to...
So you're admitting that...
No, we admit nothing. I mean, Hee-chan, of course it would be nice if you joined us and we'd appreciate it. But even without all that, joining the student council shows a healthy interest in the workings of one's school. Yup, it's true, Hee-chan. Besides, don't you want to spend time with us after school, Hee-chan?
I can't tell if she's being genuine or if this is just really good acting. Both of them seem to be trying hard to look their cutest, although they were already pretty cute to begin with. Oh wait, I might have to adjust the pet because my face is way bigger than it usually is. I don't want to click out of the game to do that though, so whatever I'm imagining you like pet my nose. I'm imagining that's what that looked like. I didn't get to see. Well.
So it's sent then! Welcome to the student council, Hee-chan!
What? No!
Aww, see, Shi-chan? Of course it wouldn't go so easily. Yup, that's right! Though it would be boring if it went that smoothly. Oh well, Shi-chan owes me candy now.
Yeah? Okay, cool. I got pets on the schnoz. Excellent. You were betting on it? My life is not a game here. Shizune seems very intrigued by this when Misha signs to her. The aggressive glint returns to her eye.
It's interesting, Hee-chan. Let's play a game.
That's not what I said.
How about rich man, poor man, Hee-chan? If you lose, you have to join the student council.
No, absolutely not.
Aw, why not?
Well, because you two both have the same incentive, and therefore the same goal, which is to get me to join the student council, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that isn't my goal. But what this means is that both of you can team up, and I'll be at a clear disadvantage, so I'll have to decline.
Hee-chan, I'm very offended. Are you saying you don't trust us? That we would pull something so disingenuous? That makes me sad.
Oh my god, she's literally me. She's literally me. Sorry? It's hard to tell where Shizune's influence ends and Misha's thoughts begin. Oh yeah, it is difficult for me too, I can't quite tell. I can't quite tell where Shizune ends and Misha begins in the dialogue.
In order to atone for hurting a young girl's feelings, you should definitely join the student council.
Oh my god, these girls are relentless. No!
How about a game of paper football instead of rich man, poor man?
Paper football?
Yeah, it's the game they play in America.
Is it? Is paper football an American thing?
You make a paper triangle, and then you try to shoot it past the goalpost that the other player makes with their fingers.
What? You make a paper triangle, and then you try and shoot... What is that, huh?
Isn't it cool? It's the ultimate form of competition between two people, Hee-chan. And it's also played by elementary and middle school children, Shi-chan. That means it's a game that really separates the boys from the men.
More like boys from slightly older boys. Anyway, I'm not going to play that either. Just the fact that you know about that means you're probably surprisingly good at it. Oh, it is a thing? Oh, that's interesting. I had no idea.
Yeah, that's true. How did you know, Shi-chan?
Shizune frowns at Misha, telling me that she probably wasn't supposed to admit that so readily. I wouldn't say that I'm happy with their attempts to get me into the student council, but I'm a little curious what the student council does here. I've never been on one before, or even known anybody who was a member, so it interests me. I also kind of like Shizune and Misha, so maybe it wouldn't be so bad.
Okay, Hee-chan, how about Risk? A game of world domination.
I don't know what that is.
It's really fun, Hee-chan. You fight for control over the world with armies and everything.
Sounds like Shizune would be good at it.
If you want to play, we can after school. Ah, really, Shi-chan? We can play just for fun. We can play just for fun, Hee-chan. Shi-chan hasn't played in a long time, so if you want to, there's no strings attached.
Well, okay. Not the best example, but you can see Tony Stark and Nebula play it in Avengers Endgame. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm not super big on Avengers, but like just to see what the game is, I am really curious what it is. Well, okay.
Okay, perfect! We'll see you after school in the student council room then, Hee-chan.
Wait, why there?
Because that's where we keep the game.
I grimace to tell them how much I do not like this, but it's more for show than anything. So in the end, I agree, but only after getting Shizune to acknowledge that I don't mean anything concrete just by accepting to take a look around and play a game with her. Lunch ends and we go back to class. I know, that's why I said not the best example. That's fine. I can look it up if I really want to. During afternoon classes, the long-haired girl comes back and sits down in her seat without a word. Again, no one seems to notice, or if they do, no one says anything. I want to ask Misha about it, but I don't want to be nosy. After school, Shizune and Misha quickly find me by the first floor lobby and latch onto me, covering each flank in case I try to escape. I feel a little offended, but I'd been considering it. Nevertheless, I'm a bit disturbed that enough people have made a break for it in the past that they're on the guard. Yeah, that's a bit messed up. What's with the escort? This doesn't make me feel very comfortable. In fact, it makes me feel like a dangerous prisoner being transported to his cell.
What's wrong, Hee-chan? That's right, we're just going to play a game of Risk, remember?
I don't know. Misha, this all seems a little sinister to me. I start thinking that when we sit down to play the game, they'll tie me down and torture me until I agree to join the student council. Well, it's highly unlikely, but still, for some reason it just seems like it would be plausible.
I want waffle fries.
Oh, I am sorry, I do not have waffle fries to provide for the... I have hash browns. You want a hash brown? Getting to the student council room is as simple as turning 2 corners from where we started. What? That's it? This makes you guys being on... there. What? That's it? This makes you guys being so on top of me seem a little silly.
That's not true, Hee-chan. Shi-chan says that when their life is threatened, people have shown the capability
I want
of
waffle
superhuman
fries.
bursts of speed. Hash browns? Yeah, I got hash browns. I don't have waffle fries, but I have hash browns. Do you guys want hash browns? I love hash browns. I have them every morning for breakfast as part of, like, my morning routine. You want hash browns? I'll send some hash browns in the Discord server tomorrow morning. I'll send y'all some hash browns. Hash browns will suffice? Excellent. I'm so glad that there's a worthy substitute for the lack of waffle fry. Life is threatened. Her expression unchanging, Misha signs something amusedly to Shizune, who makes a baffling who makes a baffling face and puts her hands behind her back, looking pleased with herself. Misha feigns deafness and hums cheerily. Stop that. I know you heard me. You have no excuse, unlike Shizune. Shizune opens the door to the student council room. It's a very plain, sparsely decorated room, although it's quite large, maybe even a little larger than the classroom. God, it's 6 AM, I need to sleep. Get some good rest, Nomad. Get some good rest. The forklifts need you. And yeah, give me like I said when I took your commission a few days ago, roughly 2 weeks, and I'll have those concepts sent right over. One's done, just gotta finish the other. There's a big table at the center surrounded by chairs, and a smaller desk prominently placed in the back that I assume is Shizune's. There's a few regular desks and chairs stacked to one side as well. Extras, perhaps? Oh, you won't go to sleep. Why won't you go to sleep? You did a 12-hour shift. Go get EPs. Aside from the tables and chairs, the room doesn't have much else to offer. Just a couple of filing cabinets and bookshelves stacked with old-school records and documents. Not much else, in fact, nothing else. This is a pretty bleak room. They could at least put a potted plant in here or something, but the most noticeable thing in this room, that this room doesn't have is other people. Are we early? No. What do you mean, no? Does this mean nobody else is coming today? Yeah, that's right.
Before I manage to ask why that's the case, Shizune claps her hands together very energetically.
Hee-chan, let's play Risk. Come on, you promised, didn't you? You have to. Okay. Do you want to know the rules? We can explain to you while we set everything up.
While Misha is talking, Shizune takes out what looks like a board game from behind one of the filing cabinets and throws it on the table. Oh, you also just finished the fashion frame. Okay. You politely refuse. I understand. Oh god, it's Doki Doki. I'm still yet to play Doki Doki Literature Plus. The one that came out on console. I'm still yet to play that one. I would love to. Absolutely. But like, I just haven't. I've been going through a lot of free games at the moment. Mostly because I think it's interesting and I want to support indie developers, but also because money kind of tight. So that's why I've been playing the free indie games recently. But I would love to go through Doki Doki Plus. They're the only members, true. No, Doki Doki had 2 extra members, remember? They had at least 4. Actually, this looks kind of interesting. After Misha spends a little too long for her liking running through the basics with a somewhat vague and confusing tutorial, Shizune cuts in and declares the game has started with a decisive motion, slicing her arm through the air. Shizune's aggressiveness is rubbing off onto me. I start feeling more competitive than I intended to be when we agreed to this. Halfway through the game, while I try to ponder how to defend against Shizune's assault from 2 fronts, she breaks my concentration by drumming her fingers on the table to get my attention.
Shi-chan wants you to know that you're taking too long to make a move. Shi-chan also says that she will let you keep Australia if you agree to join the student council. Oh no, not Australia! No!
Skinner, we're in danger, I think. I thought this was a game with no strings attached. Just the fact that she would dangle that over my head as an offer means that she knows I care about the outcome of this game. And anyway, no. I am not being owned by an American. To be fair, I think this is Japan. To be fair, I think this is set in Japan.
Chi-chan admires your fighting spirit and would be benevolent dictator who will there.
Let me start that again.
Chi-chan admires your fighting spirit and would be a benevolent dictator who will spare your people if you agree to join the student council.
Misha is from America? Yeah, but Misha's not the one talking. Shizune is the one talking. Misha is just vocalizing Shizune's sign. They're so competitive, Shizune. She seems to take this as a compliment. I would expect nothing less. I would expect the student council president to be a little more magnanimous, I think is how you say that. Magnanimous. She doesn't seem to know what the word means or how it's signed, so she pulls out a piece of paper and writes it for Shizune, who in return signs it back to Misha. Misha presses her index finger against her temples as if trying to physically imprint the word into her memory. Suddenly, Shizune bursts into a flurry of gestures. Misha looks daunted by the pace of her heated signing.
Wait, please slow down, Shi-chan. Shi-chan says you're going to lose.
Tell her that I will crush her world empire with my rebellion. It has to be. I don't think there is a single school in the US with uniforms outside of military uni. Not only that, but like, this is kind of a diss to the US. I don't think a school specifically designed for disabled students would be this accommodating. If it was in the US. I'm really sorry, my US watchers, but that's just how I feel.
Okay.
Those eyes of hers shine with childlike mischief. Oh my god, look at her! She's so cute! She's ready to kick our ass, bro.
She says you have no chance if you keep playing like this. No, you won't.
She has a point, attack aggressively. It's a trap. It's smarter to play defensive here. Ooh. Chat, do we want to go all offense or do we want to go defense? Do you reckon Shi-chan is trying to egg us on so that we go aggressive and we make a misstep? And that the idea is to be defensive? Or do you think we should just hop on the defensive and absolutely destroy her? We got defense. You are a US watcher? Yeah. I'm glad you agree with me. Defense. Okay. We're gonna play defensively, guys. We're gonna play defensively. It's likely she's just trying to psych me out. Looking at the board again, I have a pretty good defense setup, and I'm not going to wreck it doing something reckless. After a few turns later, I lose the game anyway. No! But we lost anyway. I wonder if we lose no matter what. We probably lose no matter what, to be fair. Shizune adjusts her glasses victoriously and allows herself to tentatively pump a fist in the air in celebration.
Hi-chan, you lost when you allowed me to take North America. I mean, Shi-chan, not me.
Oh no, I got that. Well, North America also belongs to Shi-chan now.
Getting control of North America is ambitious because it provides a 5-army bonus, but you can attack it from 3 fronts, so you must defend them all. I thought you'd have more guts. How disappointing.
Wow, yikes. I need to have a sip of water, hang on. Not water, tea. We're 2 hours in and I've barely touched my tea. I've normally finished my tea by now.
Ambition, Hi-chan. Your play needs to be more daring. Ambition! I was really excited when you took South America, but then you switched to playing defensively just because you gained a small advantage. That's no good, Hee-chan. You didn't take enough risk, and when you did, you didn't follow through. That's terrible, Hee-chan.
Damn. Wow, what's it to her if I played too carefully? There's no need to rub it in my face. Oh, she got real close all of a sudden. Oh.
I wonder if you'd been any good for the student council.
What's this, reverse psychology? I guess I don't have to worry about joining or not in that case.
Giving up? Just like that? I expected more of you.
Seriously, is Shizune trying to taunt me into joining the student council? Besides, I don't even want to join. It's only my second day, I can't make that kind of commitment.
I haven't even taken a look at any other clubs yet. Just these, and these two are a little weird.
Fine, I'll consider joining the council, but I want to take a look at the clubs before I decide.
Really, Hee-chan? You're not just saying that to make us feel better?
Yeah. I'm just not sure what I want to. I'm just not sure that I want to.
Aww. Okay, Hee-chan, but we're not going to give up so easily. You said maybe. There's still a chance you'll come around. Come on, we could really have fun. We could play more Risk, and maybe one day you could beat me. Unless we graduate before that.
That doesn't make me feel any less reluctant about joining, you know.
Surely you are not that horrible at board games. Maybe we can play a game you know then, to give you a handicap.
Is this really the student council, or is this just the board game club? I might have said that just to make you feel better after all.
Aw, that's cold, Hee-chan.
I take a glance at the clock on the wall and realize I've spent far longer playing Risk than I expected. Sorry, I think I have to go. I wanted to go to the library. It's not closed yet, is it? Shizune scratches her head and gestures at Misha. How hard can it be to determine whether the library is open? There's a clock right there on the wall.
It should be, unless the librarian is absent. I think you're right, Shi-chan. We think the library is open. It's on the second floor. You can't miss it. Did you want us to show you where it is?
No thanks. It's okay. See you tomorrow. Wow, giving them the cold shoulder now.
Bye-bye!
One flight of stairs up, I run into problems. The second floor hallway is a carbon copy of the third floor one. Wide, of course, and plain, like only hallways can be. The problem is that the library's whereabouts are not exactly determined as one would think. The classrooms are marked with signs stating which class they belong to, but then there's a plethora of other unmarked rooms. Is the library one of them, or is it just somewhere down the hallway? I bet on the latter and choose my direction at random. After I turn the corner, an unmarked door draws my attention because it's not closed. It's not open either though, just barely ajar so that I can see it's open and nothing else. It would make sense for the library door to be invitingly open, and while this one is not quite that, it's good enough. At the very least, it means that someone is inside and I can ask for directions, no matter how embarrassing that is. Guys, do we think it's the long-haired girl, the girl with the long black hair that left class earlier? I gingerly push on the center of the door with my fingertips, every muscle in my arm ready to pull back at a moment's notice. The feeling of being an outsider to this school can't be shaken from my mind, so much so that I instinctively feared doing something wrong by entering. The door slowly creaks as if groaning from a deep sleep, though it's much easier to open than I anticipated. Leaning over and poking my head ever further inside to gain sight of the room as fast as possible, the meek hello on my lips is quickly snatched away. Oh no, it's a different girl! She low-key reminds me of Saber from Unlimited Blade Works. This is not what I was expecting. I mindlessly let the door open to its full extent, taking in the sight of the solitary figure taking center stage in the otherwise abandoned room. The situation steals my voice, leaving me standing in the doorway staring at the beautiful girl. Evidently having taken her time to assess the situation, the girl gently puts down her teacup and opens her eyes, but she doesn't look at me. Okay.
Hello there. May I help you?
Staring directly in front of herself, the movements of her lips seem to break the silence rather than the words. However, it's the soft, measured voice that reminds me she's being separate from the room itself. She's a being separate from the room itself. Not only is she likely the tallest girl I've ever laid eyes on, but even among the foreigners I've met, she's strikingly distinct. Hi. Sorry for intruding. I was just kinda lost. She takes a moment to formulate a response before speaking. Every action she takes feels as if it's carefully choreographed beforehand.
Care to take a seat?
Unexpected, considering that I'm intruding upon her. Thanks. I slowly step towards another seat opposite her, the girl resting the teacup and saucer on the wooden table in between. The way she doesn't track my movements with her head is telling. That, and the slight cloudiness of her eyes, means she must be at least partially blind, like Kenji. Come to think of it, her voice doesn't have any detectable accent either. I guess she must be half Japanese. As I take my seat, her composure takes me slightly off guard. Her air of relaxed confidence makes the silence entirely comfortable. The calming atmosphere is so very different from the student council office.
I take it you're a new student too, Yamaku?
Oh, not two, but like two Yamaku. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I've said it 16 times tonight. I can't read. Yeah, just transferred in yesterday. I get the distinct feeling my speech patterns don't match the formality of hers, accentuated by her restrained bow of greeting. One which I hasten to match before realizing the futility of the action.
I'm Lily Satao. Pleased to meet you.
Hisao Nakai. She gives me a nod before gesturing roughly in the direction of her teacup.
Would you care for a drink?
Sure. As much as it pains me, I can't keep step with her formality in the proceedings. She gives a kind nod, taking the request in stride. Without another word, she steps off the chair and prepares a second cup of tea from a collection of supplies laid along the shelf. A brush here, a brush there, her left hand often lightly touching the side of whichever container she's pouring into. It seems to be a process she's followed dozens of times before. As I lean sideways to see around her back, she seems to use her long, dainty fingers to measure the right amount of water in the teacup. It's one thing to see the different disabilities of students in my class have, but it's quite another to see how everyone seems to adapt. Shizune and Misha have no problem working together to communicate to me, and Lily herself seems to have workarounds for problems I'd never thought of. While I feel slightly guilty for her doing the work, she seems pleased to be following the correct process of the offerer preparing the drink. So, a soft voice brings me out of my silent observance. Oh, she's cute. I really like this one.
Which room are you looking for? It's not often this classroom is visited after school.
The school library. Shizune and some classmates told me it was on this floor. She finishes pouring into the teacup and she nods, a small metallic tapping coming from the teacup indicating it being stirred. I'm aware of Miss Hakamichi, as are most students. To be with them means you're in class 3-3, no? That's right, in the science room with Muto. She gives a small giggle before setting down the teaspoon and slowly walking towards the table, teacup and saucer in hand.
He's quite the character. I imagine you'll come to like him, most do.
As she sets down the tea, I gently take it and have a sip. I'm really more of a coffee person, but this seems to be a rather bad moment to bring it up. Yeah, I'd say. Nonetheless, the smell's quite nice. I hardly think it'd be hard to choke down. Thanks, Sato. Tastes really nice. She smiles and quickly waves her hand in front of her face.
Lily, please. There's no need to be formal.
She says this in spite of her exceedingly well-bred speech. Oh well. I guess I should try and ask her about herself, as it really does seem as if she's catering to me. So, which class are you from? I imagine it's one of the third-year classes?
Correct. I'm in class C2, which is on the 3rd floor, same as yours. It's taught by Miyagi, I think is how you say that, Miyagi? And it's specifically for both blind and partially blind students.
I see. Sorry. I feel like slapping myself for the four pass, I think is how you say that. Looking at her face though, she doesn't seem to let, my god, why can't I read tonight? Looking at her face though, she doesn't seem in the least bit put off by it.
My, there's no need to change your speech on my account.
Sure. Sorry, I guess I'm really showing my newness here.
An environment like this would be a big change, so I can't fault you for it. While the same can't be said for everyone, many have come to terms with their conditions.
A category which I would include her, it seems. All too ready to jump ship from this particular topic, I seg into another. I yield, I'ma go sleep. Good night, Nomad. Have a good EP. It was nice to see ya. Do you come here to drink tea often? It's a really nice place. Thinking on it, this might be her version of the place behind my school that I liked to have lunch at.
I come here fairly often during lunch times. My duties as class representative don't leave enough time for an official club, so a friend and I use this room for having tea.
Class representative, huh? Compared to Shizume, her mannerisms seem to be the almost completely opposite. While Shizune's blunt and fiercely driven, Lily seems relaxed and calm, almost aloof. Come to think of it, she might be useful for a less biased view on school clubs. What kind of clubs are there to join?
The more popular ones are the Track and Field Club, which uses the field near the school during lunchtimes, the Baseball Club, and the Book Club near the library.
There are also numerous small ones too, though, such as art and music clubs. At a time when I'm wanting to get on my feet, rushing into a club right away seems slightly unappealing. I wonder if this school shares the same rule as my old one. Is it compulsory to join a club?
It isn't, though it's highly encouraged.
Ah, good. That's a relief.
I really let down my guard around—
oh, sorry, wrong voice. I really let my guard down around this girl to let such a thing slip out. The fact, seems to slightly amuse her. Not wanting my tea to get cold, I finally start drinking it as Lily does the same. Yeah, I should drink my tea too, actually. My tea is about to get cold. Oh, we spent the whole day here. As I look over to the window over her shoulder, I notice the light coming into the room has distinctively orange tint. Even here, time doesn't stand still. Ah, the time's gone quickly. I'm gonna turn the sound down. Music volume. And maybe turn the effects down too. It's getting that kind of night, guys. Sound, reading, lights, and getting overstimmed. Also, how do we save this game? I don't think we do. Oh shit. Oh no, we do. There's a save option literally right there. Good. Alright, return. Ah, the time's gone quickly. Sorry? Right, she's blind. Of course she can't see the sun setting. It just looks like the sun is starting to set. seems to come as a surprise for her. I guess she must have lost track of the time. Yeah, how would she indicate the passage of time? It's something I've always been curious about is blind people and how they navigate the world. It's very interesting to me.
Sorry, Hisao. I didn't mean to keep you from the library for so long.
I quickly moved to allay her concern. Ah, no, it's okay. The library's still open, isn't it? She pauses, then takes a moment to think on it. It's probably something I should have asked Shizune when I had the chance, but Lily seems likely to know that in any case.
True, it's open until 6:30 during weekdays.
A quick glance at my watch confirms that I have well enough time to get there. I might get going in that case. It's been nice talking with you, Lily. She smiles and gives a deep nod, her hands still neatly folded on the table in front of her.
It was my pleasure. Oh, come to think of it, shall I show you where the library is?
I couldn't possibly ask for more help. I should be able to find it alright. Well, unless my navigational skills fail me. Bro, the only reason you found Lily is because your navigational skills are shit and you didn't know where the library was. Accept the help from the lovely lady. Which they seem to have a habit of doing.
It's alright. I was going to be talking to the librarian there in any case. I could introduce you.
This gets better and better. It's pretty hard to deny her offer. If you're sure, then that'd be great. Thanks. As she stands up to follow me, she takes hold of a straight, retractable cane that has been slipped in the handle of her bag on the floor. Compared to the cane the boy in my class had, Lily's looks much thinner and longer. His must be for support, whereas Lily's is for navigation. Together we leave— oh, sorry, I think my phone just turned on. Oh, it did. It's fine. Together we leave the peaceful room and enter the empty hallway on the way to the library. Side by side, my pace carefully slowed to match hers, we slowly walk through the hallway. It doesn't take long for us to arrive to the door, at the door to the warm-looking room, apparently situated in the center of the floor rather than either wing. Ladies first. She gives an apprehensive smile at the gesture, taking the lead while I file in, as we file in. To the left is the wooden library counter, with the library proper being on the right. It easily dwarfs my old school's library, with the distinct smell of old books giving the place an almost old-world air. There don't seem to be a lot of students here, considering the time. It isn't a big surprise. Everyone's probably either in the school grounds or in the dorms.
Yuko, are you here?
She says it to thin air since the librarian doesn't seem to be present, and of course, Lily can't see this. What's unexpected is that it draws a reaction. Something from under the counter thuds against it, followed by a quiet wail. Aww. The Origin, apparently the librarian, quickly crawls out and bounces up to extremely rigid attention. Hi, Lily. How can I help you? Oh, she's a bit flustered. Yeah, that's fair. Her voice is strained in a failing attempt to sound casual as she's rubbing the back of her head.
Good afternoon. What happened just now? I heard a strange sound.
It's nothing. I just hit my head.
See, I dropped an eraser under my desk, and while I was looking for it, a pencil dropped. When I was looking for both of them, you came in and surprised me.
Are you alright? I'm sorry, I couldn't know.
It's okay. Sorry for making you worry. This is nothing. I've had worse happen to me.
She's quick to reverse Lily's apologies, almost frantically trying to push aside the possibility that she could be in any way inconvenienced by bashing her head on the counter.
Yes, worse things have happened.
The girl fidgets with her fingers as Lily doesn't seem to drop her concerned expression, and then she shuffles some papers around the counter for no reason. A little shorter than Lily, replete, with glasses, freckles, and a very troubled look, She seems to fit a library perfectly.
Ah, Lily, did you get my message? Message? Oh, the 2 imported books have arrived? Right, they finally came. I can't believe it took so long, but
amidst her celebrations, partially for managing to change the topic, I'm sure she notices me from the corner of her eye and freezes on the spot when she does.
Oh no! I'm sorry for not noticing you before. Did you need to check out a book or return one? I'm sorry.
The way she can so quickly shift between moods is unsettling.
He's with me. Yuko, this is Hisao, a new student. Hisao, this is Yuko, the school librarian.
Please... Oh, sorry, wrong voice. Pleased to meet you.
Hisao, right. Hisao, pleased to meet you too. Hisao.
For a second, she visibly attempts to engrave the name on her mind so she won't forget.
Yuko often arranges to import foreign books in Braille for me. Would you like to tell Hisao a little something about the library?
Lily's innocent suggestion is met with an expression of abject terror. Oh no.
Please, Lily, I can't. I don't know what he could be interested in. This is too much responsibility.
How's it any responsibility at all? How is any responsibility at all? I don't get. But her objection is so sincere, I don't doubt for a second that she would rather disembowel herself on the spot than tell me where the light novels are.
But...
So, there are a lot of books in Braille here? I attempt to save the day by asking the first thing that pops to my mind. It seems to work, at least partially, as Yuko seems to not exactly relax, but at least look a little less tense.
Well, I think about a third or fourth of Yamako's library is either in Braille or audio.
Makes sense, given all the blind students that be here. If it's only that, how come this library is so big in the first place?
Well, we get a lot of new books regularly because the library is adequately endowed. That's probably why. They spend more on new books than on my salary, and then I have to organize and shelve all of them. It's so troublesome, and they weigh so much. I wish I could quit this job.
I love hearing a librarian talk about how much they want to quit being a librarian, knowing there's a person in my life that's actively trying to become a librarian. That's really funny to me. Also, hello, how are you? A very awkward silence follows this revelation of too much information. LMAO, the game title? Oh yeah, we're falling in love with some disabled girlies.
I'll go check the aisles then.
Oh, sorry, wrong voice. I'll go check the aisles then, if you don't mind. It's probably best for all of us if she doesn't keep talking to me.
Very well. Meanwhile, Yuko, I would have those books if it's alright with you.
My first impression was right. The library is surprisingly big. Ambling down the narrow aisles, I study the spines of the books in random order, occasionally sliding one out to read the blurb, taking it with me if it looks good. In a few moments, I have a respectable stack of books in my arms. I guess I'll never be stuck for choice in here. The normality of the library sinks in. Sure, it's a very large print and braille books scattered throughout, but this is what it is. A library. How's the game so far? It's pretty alright. It's got a very slow start, but I think it's pretty good. There's a lot of things that like I and some other people in chat have been able to relate to. It's as if the calm mood from the room and I had tea with Lily in snuck. Oh my god! Please read English. It is your only language. You dumb fuck. Okay. It's as if the calm mood from the room I had tea with Lillian snuck with us in here. Unless it was here to begin with. Something about that puts me at ease, just like before. I reach the end of the aisle and find another collection of desks set up for study or personal reading. Going a little further, though, I discover a nice quiet corner at the back. While the rest of the library has the odd student sitting at a desk either reading or stealthily sleeping, the back is pretty much deserted. Yeah, I think this game might resonate with me, as I've had learning difficulties in the past. Oh, that's fair enough. Most of the characters we've seen so far have physical disabilities rather than mental ones, so I'm not entirely sure on that, but there's definitely some stuff that people in chat, and like myself included, with mental disabilities that we've been able to relate to still, so maybe. As I glance around, I see someone who I recognize sitting with one of the several beanbags. Oh my god, it is her! It's the dark-haired girl from my class, the one who snuck out of the classroom earlier. She's reading a book, keeping it close to her face, which makes her look like she's really into it. From the way she was acting today, I had her pegged as more of a delinquent than a bookworm. In fact, her mysterious disappearance from the class raises all sorts of whys in my head. Intrigue floats slowly but surely towards the surface, and before I know it, I'm walking towards the mysterious long-haired girl. Oh, maybe have an injury? Oh, I know what her disability or injury is, and it's something. I guess there's no harm in introducing myself as I would with anyone else. She is a classmate after all. Walking over to the other beanbag, I take a seat and lay my books beside it. The girl starts looking scaredily up at me from underneath her fringe. This is the first time I've seen her this close. Underneath the long, dense bangs, I can see part of her face. I can see that part of her face, at least a third, if not half, is basically scarred. It's pretty badly scarred. The characters in this game specifically neurodivergent. We haven't seen any neurodivergent characters, no. It looks like it's gonna be strictly physical disabilities. Although I suspect that Misha's got some sort of neurodivergence. She uncannily looks like one of the magical girls. She kind of does, from, what was it called? Oh no, what was it called? The really, really edgy one that was trying way too hard to be edgy and ended up just being really boring. She does also kind of look like the girl from Madoka, but that's not the show I'm thinking of. It's, oh god, what was it called? I'm gonna try and find it. Oh no, what was it called? I see a picture of it here. Winx? No, not Winx. I've got a picture of it. It wasn't Madoka. It was... Magical Girl Site. Magical Girl Site. That was it. That was it. I tried watching it, and it was so edgy, it was boring, and then it got to a part where, like, one of the magical girls was only 10 years old, and, like, she had scars all up her arms and legs from obvious things, and, like, her ability, she couldn't activate it unless she continued to self-harm, and I was like, okay, that's way too much, and I just stopped watching. It was trying way too hard to be edgy, and it just ended up being either really boring, or, when it wasn't really boring, absolutely disgusting. That's the show that I'm thinking of. I perfectly remember that one, but I never got around to it. Yeah, it's not worth it. I wanted to watch it because I like edgy anime, but, like, even as someone who likes edgy anime, it's not worth it. My eyes are immediately drawn to the scars, subconsciously peeking past her hair until they meet her own eyes. For a second, I'm shocked. I divert my eyes to the book in her hands, before I realize that looking away probably only makes it worse. It takes too many seconds for me to collect myself and remember what I walked up to her for. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. Hi, I'm new here, Hisao Nakai, we're in the same class. I think we should apologize for startling her first. Madoka Magica was too much for me. I watched Magical Girl anime for happy stories and bright colors. My partner and I don't think we were together at the time we watched Madoka, but we did watch Madoka together, and oh my god, it was a beautiful experience. We really, really like anime that starts off super nice and cutesy and then takes a really fucked up turn. We watched Madoka Magica, We watched, oh no, what was it called? School Life? I think it was called School Life, which is an anime. All I'm gonna say is that it's a anime about a club at a school, and like their whole club thing is that they live at the school. That's their club. That's all I'm gonna say about that. If you really want to watch that, please watch that. I am so in love with it that I've been tempted to go and read the manga because the anime cuts off, but like the manga continues. So we watched Madoka, we watched School Life. I really, really want to watch and have my partner watch with me Happy Sugar Life. And all I'll say about Happy Sugar Life is, yeah. There's just a bunch. I really like that kind of genre of content. I wasn't expecting Madoka to take such a twisted turn. We weren't either. We were told that it gets bad, but like even then we were still absolutely blindsided in the best possible way. It was so good. But I also completely understand Skinner's perspective in the sense that if you want to watch a magical girl anime, you want to watch it for like the bright colors and the fun, slightly dramatic girly pop stories and all of that sort of stuff. I understand that. And I do feel really bad for those kind of fans for like what happened maybe I want to say like 5-10 years ago where the magical girl genre went through a very edgy phase and we had all of these dark and gritty magical girl animes come out. I immediately think of Wonder Egg Priority. That was really good until it wasn't. And I'm really upset that it just suddenly stopped being good, but it was really good until it wasn't. But that's another like kind of magical girl takes a dark turn kind of anime. I just hope that you guys get your girly pop fun stories again, and we can still enjoy our cutesy turned edgy kind of stories as well. But I really enjoy them. I remember School Life, that was awesome. Yeah, I think I'm gonna rewatch it for like the 4th time soon because it was really good. Anyway, back to the game. I think the appropriate thing to do is apologize for startling her and then introduce ourselves. Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. It's okay. Your hair's purple? I thought it was anime styled like black. I didn't think it was purple, but okay. If you like were to color pick it, yes, it would be purple, but I thought it was just anime styled black hair. The girl certainly doesn't look like it's okay, but I let it slide. Speaking of anime, do you have any general anime recommendations? Happy Sugar Life, but like that's the same genre as like School Life and Madoka in terms of like the turn that it takes. Romantic Killer is really fun if you want to just turn your brain off and like, you know, just have a casual kind of like whatever experience. I would say Goodnight World, but like only the first 4 episodes of Goodnight World. Anything past that is kind of trash. Erased. I don't watch an awful lot of anime, so I'm kind of drawing a bit of a blank right now, but off the top of my head, those are the ones. So, do you mind if I sit here? She seems to be very uncertain whether it's okay or not for me to sit, but finally she nods just a little. Oh, okay. I take the seat next to her, and she hides behind her book. Life of Pi. Never heard of it. So, sorry again for startling you. I'm Hisao. She looks up from her book, stalling a little before replying. I know. We're in the same class. Her speech is stilted and so quiet that it's barely audible even in the library. Somehow, I think that my delinquent impression of her was wrong. Hanako. I'm Hanako. I resist the urge to say that's a nice name, just to have something to say, but really it's the only thing I can think of. I feel like an idiot. Everyone here must be used to being different to each other, and here I am being all bothered and fussed about that kind of thing. Don't let me interrupt your reading. I'll just check these books if you don't mind. She nods a little and sighs a little sigh of relief. So, I try to read the covers and the book introductions of the books I picked up, and she buries her face into a book. Uncomfortable silence consumes us. My eyes still wander to her direction, and I sneak peeks at her flowing hair and the scars it's hiding. After a while, I realize that she's doing the same and only pretending to be immersed in the life of Pi. Damn, mutual peeking. I remember Goodnight World. I agree the first 4 episodes started off really good, and then I absolutely hated the rest. Yeah, it got really boring afterwards. Anyone else in chat got anime recommendations? The gaze is not inquisitive at all, though. It darts around like a scared rabbit. When our gazes finally meet, the chain reaction is unstoppable. She stands up forcefully from the beanbag and takes a deep breath. Oh, she's got little arm puffs, like little poofs. That's cute. I've gotta go do something. Without warning, Hanako takes off and runs towards the counter. Early Pokemon seasons, Ash is dumb of as. I've never watched, like, the Pokemon anime proper, so that might be fun. Legit, was so boring and everything made no sense whatsoever. Bro, if Goodnight World just stuck to the premise of, like, a family who hates each other IRL, but, like, is a happy family in-game and they don't realize that it's the same family, if they stuck to that premise throughout the whole season, hands down it would have been my favorite anime, like, currently. But then they did that weird, like, science mumbo-jumbo, and, like, it turned into, like, a fucking battle royale at the end, and I was like, oh... Didn't like it. Her hair-like takeoff catches me so off guard that I don't manage to go after her until she has a good head start. There we go. By the time I reach the counter, she's nowhere to be seen. Lily and Yuko are happily chatting away. Knowing that I won't be able to catch Hanako myself, I approach the girls. Hey, did you notice a girl run past here? Recommend Spy X Family, Digimon, Ghost Game, the Apothecary Diaries, Tokyo Revengers, Windbreaker, and Blue Lock. That is a list. It's definitely a list. Alright, I'll have a look at some point. Maybe? Oh, what did she look like? Long, dark hair, kind of shy. She had, well, some scars on her face. You wouldn't be talking about Hanako, would you? Wait, how do you know what Hanako looks like? Have people just described her to you? Yeah, that's her. I saw her reading and tried to talk to her, but I think I scared her off or something. Oh dear. Yuko, would you excuse me? I'd better try and find her. Sure, I'll just hold on to these until you come back. What's going on? Also, Chilling in Another World, Boshy the Rock, and Romantic Killer. Yeah, Romantic Killer was good. I've watched that one. I'm sorry, but I'll have to explain it to you some other time. Right. I'll see you later then. Lily hastily grabs her cane and hurries out of the library, leaving alone with Yuko. I don't think I'll ever get the hang of this place. Did I do something wrong? What did you do? Nothing! I was just looking for some books and then she got this fit and ran off. I don't really watch a bulk of anime, but based on these recommendations, I love them so far. Yeah, I don't really watch too much anime. Once my partner moves in, that might change, but I just don't watch a lot of content in general. I mostly put on, like, other people's, like, YouTube videos or live streams while I work. I don't really sit down and watch stuff very often. The most offending thing I can think of was that I might have looked in her general direction a few times. Well, she's a very timid girl. You have to be very careful around her. She can be very jumpy. I think, and she's not accustomed to talking with other people. Isn't that a bit strange? I wonder. It's just how she is, I think. Yuko doesn't sound at all convincing. Then again, maybe this is just the norm around here. Everyone has their own problems, or else why would they be here? Or else they wouldn't be here, sorry. But how should I deal with these people? Forcing myself to act overly casually only makes me feel phony. Like I was supposed to be ignoring the elephant in the room. I don't really watch TV or movies in general either, I just simply watch YouTube videos or listen to true crime. Yeah, I went through my true crime phase. The only reason I stopped is because I went through an ADHD, like, overstim, like, oh my god, everything is too loud, and a really long period of time where I could only work in complete silence. And I'm only just kind of recently getting back into having audio in the background while I work. And I just haven't gotten back to true crime yet. Unico fidgets, looking like she wants to say something to that, but resists it. I think it's an elephant only if you feel that way. I guess she doesn't have a good sense of self-restraint. It makes me smile and she blushes heavily. Well, what? Did that sound stupid? No, it sounded really wise. I guess you're right. It's more about me than anyone else. Neither of us has anything to add, so Yuko fills the silence by shuffling some papers around. People who have papers on their desks really like doing that. I like doing that. I have papers on my desk. I love shuffling my papers. Did you find any books? I should be closing soon. I mean, this library should be closing, but I have to do it. I hope that's not too inconvenient for you. I'm not one of those crazy true crime fanatics. Oh no, I didn't think so. It's all good. Oh, yeah, I want some books, but I left them over there because... I'll just go get them. I fetched my stack of books from beside the beanbags where Hanako and I were sitting and returned to the counter. Wow, you read a lot, don't you? I surprise myself with that too, honestly. At least when I really think about it. I had a lot of free time earlier this year, so I just kind of started reading books to fill that time. I couldn't do much else. I see. But she doesn't say anything else, and just checks out my books for me. I guess this is what they call tact. Holding the library books with one arm, I troll my pocket for the key to my door. A sudden sound from behind startles me, making me nearly drop the books I'm carrying or the key that I almost managed to get into the lock. Who is it? Oh, sorry, it's Kenji. I should have given Kenji his voice, my apologies. I turn around to see who was talking to me. It's Kenji. It seems to be in a friendly mood, although the light glinting off his glasses in the dark gives him a sinister look. It's just me. This makes him pause and lick his lips nervously. Who is me? I don't know anyone called me. Are you some new guy again? His voice is suddenly strained and quick. Yes, but we met before. Yesterday. I don't think so. I would remember someone who I met only yesterday. When was that? What day is it today? I try to ignore him. Is he joking or what? Prove that we've met before. You live across the hall. You're Kenji. Kenji jumps back, eyes filled with an uncomprehending fear. How do you know my name? Damn it, this can only mean one of two things. Either we have met, or you're telling the truth, and I just can't remember it, or you're a spy. He pauses. A psychic spy. His eyes dart around me, trying to peek into my room, although it's hard to believe he can see anything through those thick glasses. His mood swung from friendly to manic in less than a minute. I'm not psychic. How do you know that? I'm not a how do I know that? I'm not a mind reader. Kenji points a finger in my face damningly. I love conspiracy theorists in media. I just love that he looks like Harry Potter and they're writing him to be a bit of a funky guy, you know? I'm like you! Stop that, man. We met yesterday. What's wrong with you? I live in this room. Lies! If you think you can pass this hisao because I'm legally blind, you are sorely mistaken. You don't even look like him. I mean, the resemblance is real slim. Maybe at a distance. But who do you think you're kidding? I want to grab him by the shoulders and shake him. Exasperated, I rub my eyes and let out a heavy sigh. Stay there! Kenji comes closer, one careful step at a time. I stay still, lest he assault me physically, although I doubt he could do much damage even if he did.
Oh wait, I see it now. Damn, it really is you.
Sighing again, and then once again, for good measure, I step backwards just in case.
What's up, man? You don't look too good, I think. Something wrong?
I don't know, just had something stupid happen to me. A few stupid things, actually, even if you discount this one. I can't get a proper touch on other people here, and I have no idea if it's because of me or because of them. I don't know why I'm telling this to Kenji. It's not like we have any contact either.
That's rough, dude, yeah. I'm sorry about calling you a psychic spy and all, but you can never be too careful. It's the hard reality we live in.
Okay, so on top of being legally blind, Kenji has to have some sort of mental disability. Because keep in mind, this could just be them playing off a bit, but we are in a school specifically designed for disabled people. So let's try and not make too much fun of Kenji, because he's probably got some sort of mental disability going on top of his blindness. I'm slowly starting to think that Kenji isn't necessarily living in the same reality as the rest of us. Yeah, that's what I would, yeah.
You see? This is how it is, this world. There is no justice. You see? Even when I lose, I win, because I don't lose the lesson.
What does that even mean?
It doesn't matter.
He dismisses it flatly with a wave of his hand.
So, what happened? Why the long face? Do you have a long face?
It's nothing. I just scared some girl off accidentally. Literally, too. She actually ran away from me. It was my fault, really. I think I'm not really used to all this yet.
A girl?
A cute one. Cute? That's a hard question. She had a nice body and really beautiful hair, but the face? I guess it could go either way. She was cute, she wasn't cute. Oh, is this even a question? She was cute. Yeah, cute, I guess.
I knew it! There are a lot of cute girls here, a strangely disproportionate amount. I believe this is one of the dark secrets of this school. I tried to warn you, man, but did you listen?
I don't remember any such warning. Dark secrets?
Yes, dark secrets. Extremely dark. Like a black hole. Have you noticed that the number of girls in this school is slightly but significantly higher than the number of boys? It's like 60-40.
I mean, that feels kind of average to me. You know? Like 10% one way, 10% the other. Even for a dating sim game. Sky seems like he would have his hands together like Mr. Burns. Yeah, kind of. I reckon so. He turns his head to the left and stares off into the distance at nothing.
Why is it like this? I mean, to the untrained eye, it doesn't appear to be that bad, but that's a full 20%. One would think that a school with such a huge pool of women would be a man's dream, but no. What I'm about to tell you could blow your mind. Are you ready?
I don't know where this is going, but I think I won't be missing much by cutting out now. No, I'm not ready. I only get as far as turning the doorknob before Kenji starts talking again, showing that he doesn't really care if my mind is blown or not. Bro, are you an incel? I think we're about to find out.
I believe that this school is a battleground, the site of a feminist infiltration. This disparity in the numbers of men and women is a clear sign of how far they have come. In case this Cold War turns hot, they will have superiority in numbers. Just another skirmish in the eternal war against the forces of the feminists. They're everywhere. In Japan, women outnumber men. It's not a 60-40 split, but it's only a matter of time, man. Even in America, women are the majority by a hair. They're building up their numbers. In the past, the build-up of a military has always been the clearest sign of imminent war.
Bro, what the fuck? What am I reading? What the fuck, dude?
Japan man is just the first step. Our economy is badass, and the country itself is small and isolated, yet a huge part of the Pacific in terms of political value. The perfect target. They're so cunning, as expected of women. Soon the day will come when...
Kenji's voice trails off ominously. Bro, what feminist, anti-feminism, like, incel level, black pill, what is this? I'm cackling, bro. He is an incel, bro. What is he even on? Hey, Rogue, you showed up in the middle of an anti-feminist propaganda speech. Oh my god.
That's why you can't trust them. They'll string you along and then kill you, just as they killed me. You'll end up just like me.
Kenji. Oh my god, Kenji. Oh, hell no. I can't stop myself from blurting it out loud.
Hey, what the hell does that mean?
You said it, not me. Oh, he's red-pilled? I think he's black-pilled. It's the best I can think of.
So, you're not supposed to say something like that? Damn, so rude. Where was I? Oh yeah, vast feminist conspiracy.
Stop it. Stop. I lost you way back there somewhere. Somewhere around feminist infiltration?
Too hard to follow? It's cool. I have some graphs and stuff in my room. And puppets. You like puppets?
No puppets.
You don't like puppets? Okay, graphs are still cool though, right?
He speaks energetically, responding almost before I'm done talking, moving his hands in an animated way as he continues to rant on. Okay, this guy's got some sort of, like, bipolar type, like, this is a manic episode, right? Absolutely, this is a manic episode. Energetically? Yeah. And of fucking course he's wearing the Harry Potter scarf in reference to JK. Yeah, and the glasses too. This is too strange. I had him pegged as a relatively normal, but it's clear that I was wrong.
Something on your mind, dude?
Just thinking about what it's like to be in the last sane man in an insane world. Kenji frowns, looking deeply upset.
You mean that's you? That can't be, because I'm the last sane man in an insane world. That's my dream. You can't just steal a man's dream. What the hell? There can't be two last sane men. That would invalidate the whole last part. That part is kind of important. There can only be one, like in that foreign movie where there could only be one, and then in the end there was only one dude left because that was the point.
I'm like destroying my own eardrum doing this voice. This voice is annoying, but I have to commit to the bit.
I have never seen anyone talk so
Oh, sorry, there's the wrong voice. I've never seen anyone talk so heatedly and so defensively about absolutely nothing before. Hi, my name is Sylv. I will send you 6-hour-long video recordings about me simply ranting about where the pizza in Silent Hill 2 actually came from. That's me. Blah, 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 energetically. Nah, just whip your massive cock and beat his face with it and then depose and he'll worship you. I don't think we're allowed to beat up the disabled, Rogue. I don't think we're allowed to beat up the disabled.
Anyway, if you wait here I can get my graphs. Also I have a list of other dark and complex conspiracies that the school holds as tangled as... Quick, finish my analogy for me, pal.
I'm gonna go to bed now. It is extremely late.
That doesn't sound like an analogy, but whatever. I like you. You seem to be a cool dude. Most people don't understand what I'm talking about when I try to explain the vast feminist conspiracy to them. Denial is a terrible thing. Later.
Finally, I'm gonna chug some tea. That voice is awful. Oh god, alright. We're so back. He claps me on the back and then vanishes into his room so quickly and quietly, it's like he didn't even open the door, but instead walked right through it like a ghost. I don't know if I can fully digest what just happened, so I give up and just go to my room, kicking off my shoes before falling face first into bed. It takes some time to relax and get up so I can get started on homework. It's because the sheets are cool and comforting against my cheeks. Which cheeks? He said face down, And it feels good just lying there with my eyes closed.
This school is like some kind of bizarre and surreal island. It's isolated on top of a mountain, and each person is stranger than the last. I just can't seem to fit in. What irony. One would think that fitting in a place that's made for people that are unfit for anywhere else would be easy. Maybe I'm trying too hard. Although, as I say that, it doesn't help take the edge off, and the words are left echoing off empty walls. I guess it's not as bad as I expected, though. This place really is more a school and less a hospital pretending it's a school than I thought it would be. If nothing else, the scenery is beautiful. I opened one eye, seeing my school books and bottle of pills arranged side by side on my desktop. You and I both know the society doesn't count the mentally disabled for people who, to feel sorry for. You'll be able to hear it. That's true. That's true. If your disability is mental, then I'm sorry, you're not actually disabled. You heard it here first, folks. Obviously, I don't mean that, right? I have ADHD. Obviously, I don't mean that. Maybe this place is too much like a normal school after all. And we go to sleep and we enter the next day. What time is it? Oh, it's actually time to wrap up now, but I think I'll go a tiny bit longer. Just a smidgen longer. I feel very tired this morning, probably because yesterday itself was a very tiring day. On top of that, I woke up far earlier than necessary. After saying hi to Shizune and Misha, I start doing the work as instructed from the board. It already looked like today was going to be heavy. I don't have a problem with that now. Though. Shizune and Misha might jump on me trying to get an answer about whether or not I've decided to join the student council, even if it's just one day. I wouldn't put it past them to try, and I don't have an answer for them if they do, so this situation is convenient for me. About 10 minutes into class, Hanako walks in and takes a seat, but no one looks at her. The teacher doesn't even comment on her lateless. He does, however, stop us and say we're going to break into groups again. I turn my head and see that Shizune and Misha are looking at me. Shizune gives me a smile that's equal parts cute and menacing. This is a smile that says, "We have you now, there is no escape." Shit. Hee-chan, looks like we're together again. Yay!
Misha leans sideways and Shizune pushes her desk closer to mine. There really is no escape now unless I were to jump through the window. Jumping out the window isn't the best option, sadly.
What's wrong, Hee-chan? Oh, Hee-chan, have you been thinking about what you said yesterday? You said that you would think about joining the student council, didn't you? It's okay, Hee-chan. We were talking about it after you left, and it would be rude to expect you to already have an answer for us this early, right? Right.
Made it further, Baldur's Gate 3, just become half a lithid. Oh, that's awesome. I'm so happy you two are able to laugh at my expense, and even more pleased to know that you both know how crazy the two of you can be.
Now that that's over,
Shizune snaps back into serious mode and smacks today's assignment with the back of her hand an overly dramatic and important way. When I actually look at this stuff, it's mostly just reading. In fact, there are only 2 problems. I almost want to say something about how her rush to get started seems a bit much, considering the small amount of work. In fact, Shizune probably knows how little there is, and simply doesn't care. Yeah, it seems like the workload doesn't matter so much as the fact that there is work. The actual amount is unimportant. She approaches everything with the same level of ambition. While I'm reading, I let my eyes wander around the room and I catch Hanako trying her hand at solving the problems. It looks like she's working alone. Can't remember seeing her working with other people before. Thinking back to how shy she is, it's understandable. Hey, that girl over there.
Huh? Who, Hee-chan?
Her. Hanako. Over there. Does she always work alone? I'm waiting for them to say, like, what girl? I don't see a girl. It's like, oh, she's dead. Oh no, never mind.
I think so, Hee-chan. Do you feel sorry for her because she's alone?
I was just thinking that maybe she could work with us or something.
No, I don't think that's a good idea, Hee-chan.
Oh, wow. They want less competition. Why not?
Shi-chan wouldn't get along with her.
Oh. Oh, there's drama. Why? Misha shuffles around the question, letting out a laugh that sounds very strange. It's nervous, but it's still that lifting up and down quality present in everything she says.
Just because, Hee-chan.
By now, Shizune has noticed our conversation and makes me realize again how Misha has been signing everything she's been saying this whole time. Romance the long-haired girl? We've only met 4 girls so far. I don't think we have an option on who we can romance yet, but I know we haven't met all of them. Shizune's not happy.
What, Shi-chan? The friend of my enemy is my enemy? That sounds so harsh. I'm not going to say that.
Well, you just did. The friend of my enemy is my enemy. So this girl here is friends with someone who did Shizune dirty. Okay. That's understandable. That's fair. I wouldn't want to... Yeah. I agree, actually. You said it anyway.
I know, Hee-chan. It's fine if you overhear.
I wonder if this is Misha's way of keeping things fair, since without her, I wouldn't be able to understand a thing Shizune is saying, and vice versa. Is that also why she signs all the time, so there's never a conversation Shizune will be left out of?
Anyway, we should start on the problems now, Hee-chan.
I want to know the drama between the girlies. We finished the time to spare, and I decided to ask if there are any alternatives to the cafeteria, as frankly, the food so far has been subpar. This sends Shizune and Misha arguing among themselves about their favorite restaurants. All of them are downtown, so I don't think we have time to go all the way there. And what about the bill? Are they arguing for the fun of it? Maybe. Sometimes arguing for the fun of it is fun, okay? Sometimes you need to argue for the fun of it. It's great. Maybe. They seem so distracted by it that they don't even notice the start of the actual lunch break. I look over my shoulder towards the back of the classroom. She seems to be studying her notes from the previous class. It's an odd sight. Everyone else in the class is busying themselves with the lunch break. Socializing, gossiping, rearranging desks. The ones with actual boxed lunches mixed in and chattering with everyone else, only interrupted by short bouts of eating. I'm gonna go to bed. That's okay, we're gonna wrap up soon anyway. But when I watch Hanako, it feels like I'm the only one who can see her. Almost as if she's invisible, sort of hiding in plain sight. Is she being bullied? Is she isolating herself from the rest of her class in her own accord? I see her look over her shoulder towards the classroom's rear door. Come to think of it, she hasn't turned a page since I started watching her. I guess she's waiting for someone? Or what to do? Read my book. I'm gonna go and talk to Hanako. I know it's not gonna make Shizune happy. But the thing is, I have no allegiance to any of these girls. I could understand if I was already super, super close with Shizune and, like, I don't know, we were already dating and we were friends or whatever, and she was like, I don't like Hanako, and I went to talk to her. I could see why that would be an issue, but I'm new here. This is only my 3rd day of school. I have no allegiance to literally anybody. So, I don't know Shizune anything, as much as I love Shizune. I feel bad for making her run away yesterday, so I better say something. Hey there, Hanako.
Hidao.
Well, at least she remembers my name. Hey, I just wanted to apologize for yesterday. I didn't mean to startle you or anything. I'm just new here and I thought I should get to know my classmates. As Hanako looks up at me, I notice her scarring once more. It's a little bewildering that you can barely notice it from across the room, but it's so noticeable from up close.
That's okay. It was my fault.
Nah, it wasn't anyone's fault, it just kinda happened. So, are you waiting for someone? I saw you looking at the door before.
Yeah, Lily.
Oh, you mean Lily the blind girl? Hanako only nods in response, and I can't help but wonder if defining people through their disabilities is a faux pas or something, of the worst kind, or just normal here. I guess that explains why Lily took off after her yesterday. She seems like a nice girl. Are you two friends?
Yeah.
As if hoping for Lily to appear, she checks over her shoulder again. I think I'm making her nervous again. I hope I'm not disturbing you right now.
No, that's not it. It's just easier if Lily doesn't come here.
Oh, because it's hard to get around the classroom?
Not really.
Shizune and Lily have beef, therefore Shizune doesn't like Hanako because Hanako is friends with Lily. Okay, understand. Got it. Hanako's gaze drifts past my shoulder and towards Shizune. Shizune? Hanako nods again. What about her? Don't they get along? Hanako shakes her head. Clearly this is something she doesn't want to talk about. It does make a strange sort of sense. Shizune and Lily not getting along so well. Communication between the two would be all but impossible. It's hard enough talking to Shizune through Misha, even when you can see whose hands are talking. Hanako is so focused on Shizune that I'm the first to notice Lily at the door. Oh, she's here now. Hanako spins around to confirm this. Upon seeing Lily, she moves quickly to the door.
Lily!
Ah, Hanako, good morning. Is the president here?
Yes.
Hanako glances over her shoulder at Shizune, as if to confirm she can't hear them, even though that's impossible. I suppose we'd best be off then. Lily sighs, and tone of what seems like frustration makes me rise an eyebrow. I guess there's some kind of enmity between the two. It's intriguing, but it's not really something I'd ask about. It's something I would ask about! Girlies, please, have a seat. Let's talk about this, please. It's only my third day here. I should be trying to make friends, not finding out why people are enemies. Still, it's a little funny to find out that this school has little feuds, just like my old high school. Even if people are more tolerant of others, they're still going to get on each other's nerves. Hey Lily, how are things? I'm sorry I made you run off yesterday.
Oh my, is that Hisao? I didn't realize you were there.
It seems that Lily is a little embarrassed about being so frank in front of me.
Sorry, Lily. I thought you realized.
No, it's alright, Hanako.
Hisao, please don't worry about yesterday. It was just a misunderstanding.
If you say so. I'm still working this place out.
Well then, I think you'll find most people here are a lot more forgiving than elsewhere.
Ooh, most people. She's still thinking about Shizune.
If you're feeling a little confused, please don't be afraid to ask questions.
Sure, I'll remember that.
Lily?
Lily gives a small nod of acknowledgement.
I'm sorry, Hisao, but we must be off.
Hanako really doesn't look all that comfortable right now, and Lily still seems a little embarrassed. I wonder if my apologies really made any impact. Mind if I accompany you two? I know I'm kind of pushing it, but Lily hums quietly, still smiling.
I'm sure that we could accommodate you, can't we, Hanako?
She looks at Lily, then at me, and then freezes, wide-eyed.
Sure.
Well then, shall we go? I'm sure Lily wouldn't do this so easily if she saw how scared Hanako looks, but it can't be helped now. Declining after the deal is sealed would only cause confusion and problems. So, we leave, all three together. Oh god, my deaf girlie is not gonna be happy about this. Lily walks beside the wall, letting her cane gently tap against it every now and then. Hanako comes along right beside her, so close that she's practically half hugging as they go. Although it must make her walking that much harder, Lily takes it in stride. As we turn the corner of the hallway, something hits me in the chest with the force of a steam train. Hanako shrieks a little and my vision briefly goes black. Ow. Oh my god, this is the girl I saw in the promos. I love her. Opening my eyes, I see a pair of saucer-like green eyes looking up at me. They belong to the perpetrator, a short girl who bumped into me and has now fallen down on the hallway floor. She wears a PE uniform and a very worried frown. The former strikes me as a rather strange thing to have on during a lunch break. More striking, though, is that she doesn't have legs. Or she does, but they're not flesh and bone. Her pale and very much flesh and bone thighs end at the shins, and the feet made of some black metallic or plastic-like material. They look disturbingly artificial and unnatural. It almost makes me forget that my chest is hurting. The girl winces a little, rubs her nose, and jumps up. Oh man. Hey, are you alright? I'm sorry about that, really. I wasn't looking where I was going, and you just came out of nowhere. Sorry. She's looking really apologetic, in the hurt puppy way, kind of, looking apologetic. I quickly forget about being angry or anything, since hurt puppies are my weak spot. It's okay, don't worry about it. Ouch. Oh god, we're gonna have another heart attack. I say that, but there's a stinging pain growing in my chest, and I know this is about the biggest possible danger for my condition. Don't overexert yourself, and don't forget your medication, and most of all, don't get hit in the chest. I try to rub my solar plexus to chase the pain away, holding my breath in an attempt to hear my heartbeat. Oh god, we're gonna have another heart attack. It seems normal. Okay, good. Hey, should I get the nurse? The worried high-pitched, sorry, I'll accommodate for that. The worried high-pitched voice of the girl snaps me out of it. I stare at her for a few seconds, dumbfounded, until I realize I probably looked worse off than I really was. I doubled over myself, looking all tense. Damn, I'm overly worried about my heart. As you should be, it would kill you. No need, I'm fine. Managing to say something in response, I pull myself upright, feeling a sore rib one last time, and take a deep breath. She just knocked the wind out of me. Big time. But it's nothing more than that. You sure you're okay? I hit you pretty hard. It's okay. I said I was fine, and nothing's broken. No harm done. Damn, wait a second. I remember this game is famous. Yeah, it's this game. Yep. That's good. Isao? What happened? She's not quite up to speed for obvious reasons, but she sounds very worried. More than the situation deserves, really. Someone just bumped into me. Nothing serious, just winded. Sorry, it's my fault. I was going to get some stuff, and I was kind of in a hurry. That someone here is Emmy, isn't it? The little girl coughs quietly and shuffles her plastic or metallic feet, looking down at them before saying anything. Hi, Lily. Hanako. Guess the girls know each other. I never took you for a cultured gamer. I've heard about the history of this game, and it really intrigued me, so I really wanted to give it a go. Do please try to be more careful. You might be sturdy enough to endure these sorts of accidents, but there are people who aren't. The girl blushes and starts to fidget nervously like a little child caught misbehaving. It's so cute, I find myself smiling. I know that. I was just... I've gotta go. Teacher will have my head. I promised to help with printouts, but I went running instead. I'm sorry, I've got to change and everything. Before any of us could say anything, Emmy has already bolted away, leaving the hallway eerily quiet. Does that kind of thing happen often around here? There are more rules in Yamaku than usual for running in corridors. But that rarely stops Emmy, it seems. She shakes her head weakly and offers a slight composed smile. I don't think there's anything we can do to stop her, I'm afraid. Shall we be off then? Lily heads off along the hallway and Hanako hurries after her. The route to the room the two of us use for tea is fairly simple to retrace, being still fresh in my mind from yesterday. Lily and Hanako quickly go about their business of making lunch. Before I can even open my small bag of food, Lily's busying herself with her thermos and tea bag as Hanako is setting out both their lunch boxes. So, is this what you meant by coming here almost every day? Yes, Hanako and I have lunch here. It suits both of us, so we end up using this room regularly. After seeing Hanako's reaction to me over the past couple of days, I can understand why that's a boon. That and Lily being able to get some quiet away from her class as well. I take my seat last after Lily poured I take my seat last after Lily poured the tea for us and sits down. I'm gonna have a sip of my own tea. The more time I spend with these two girls, the more I think they're a perfect foil for Misha and Shizune. Oh yeah, I kinda already got that. Without even a voice, Shizune is direct and bash, and Misha seems to get along with everyone. On the other hand, Lily is soft-spoken and relaxed, while Hanako seems to be the shyest girl I've ever met. So, how are you faring in Yamaku, Hisao? You seemed a bit flustered before. Apart from getting lost every now and again, and being crash-tackled outside my classroom, fine, I guess. You looked pretty hurt before. Are you really okay? For a brief moment, I consider telling Hanako and Lily about my condition, but then I hold it back. I can't tell why, but for some reason I feel uncomfortable talking about it to these relative strangers, even if they've been pretty friendly. Yeah, it's nothing. I was just a bit startled. Judging from the two girls' expressions, I don't think they're buying it, but in what I assume is their own way of respecting my privacy, they don't press on the matter. I guess that is one of the unwritten rules around here. Don't ask. Even if people's conditions are obvious, like Hanako's, there's still bound to be a story involved. Everyone has things they don't feel comfortable speaking about, and I think everyone here recognizes that. So, how long have you been in this school? You both seem to know your way around pretty well. Hydrate? I'll have some more tea. Well, I've been here since the start of high school, but only moved into the dormitories a year ago. Hanako joined at the start of high school as well, and she moved into the dormitories when she did, if memory serves me right. That's right. Since high school. So you've known each other since then? Since I moved, yes. Hanako lives next door to me, so it's only natural, right? Right. Yeah, of course. Living next to someone is probably reason enough to befriend them, though I'm guessing that Lily's blindness played a part in that as well. I can't imagine Hanako easily making friends with someone who has to deliberately avoid looking at her scars. With the immediate conversation dried up, we start to eat our lunch. It isn't long before the bells are signaling the end of break. Like me, the girls pack up their lunches as efficiently as they set them out. I guess I'd better be off. Are you going to go with Hisao, Hanako? You certainly are a quote-unquote cultured streamer. Look, it is my first time playing this game. Y'all don't need to call me cultured. I just know the history behind the making of this game, that's all. Hanako looks up at me, and for a second I can see that she's considering skipping class, maybe to avoid walking into the classroom with me. Yes. I don't know what to think of it. Hanako really is delicate to the point of breaking if looked at the wrong way. It makes me a bit nervous too, but I push the feeling aside, trying to be as natural as I can. We should hurry then. Class has already started by the sound of it. Lily gives a nod of farewell and bends down to take her cane, Hanako and I filing out before her. We walk quickly down the empty halls of our respective classes. As we reach the door to Lily's 3-2 classroom, she turns towards me. Hisao, thank you for sharing lunch with us today. Oh, my pleasure, Lily. And with that, we part ways, Lily entering her classroom and leaving Hanako and me to make off to our own. She's still looking like she wants to run away. So, do you really want to go back to class now? Yes. Okay then. I feel like I should say something more to her, but it's hard to come up with anything that would be appropriate and safe enough. When you said her cane for a second, I thought you said cocaine. No. And Lily was right. The more time I spend out here, the more explaining we have to do. I open the rear door to the class and walk in. The teacher looks up at me and opens his mouth to say something. However, as Hanako follows me and the class and I can't read. However, as Hanako follows me in and closes the door, he simply nods to us and continues his lecture. This is the third time that Hanako has had her truancy practically ignored. There's definitely something going on here. We make our way to our seats, and I notice Misha and Shizune both missing as well. I wonder if this is some form of informal agreement with the staff that it's a perk afforded to the unique students of this school. Trying to make as little disturbance as I can, I extract the relevant textbooks from my bag and start catching up. The class goes on quietly. Where are the other two? I'm curious. The teacher seems like an okay person, despite the weird first impression I got, and the material is relatively interesting. However, the way he teaches is really bizarre, as if he expects that everyone is a natural genius. When the final bell sounds, I realize that there's still a lot of time left in the day, and I'm left wondering what to do. It's odd. At the hospital I had 24 hours a day of free time, but here feeling the considerably shorter hours feels difficult. Everyone else leaves, and I'm left alone with the teacher. Muto? Again, I always stumble on his name. MC should compliment her hair or something like that. That would be nice, I think. Is examining the assignment sheets we were working on earlier, marking them with red balled pen. Raising his eyes from his papers briefly, he notices me and furrows his brow. What is it, Nakai? I jump at him addressing me, but I guess it's natural to spark some conversation since there's nobody else around. Nothing. Just thinking about what I'd do after school. The teacher slowly puts his cap on the pen he is holding and arranges his papers into a stack, clacking it against the desk twice. He seems very methodical, and for a brief moment I'm reminded of Shizune, but the teacher is more unhurried and relaxed, much more routined. You have no plans? No. I consider joining a club, but I don't know what kind of club would interest me. Go observe a meeting of someone else's club. Might pique your interest. I guess. But I don't know how to continue from there. Muto looks at me in a way that makes me quickly want to take the words back to avoid the conversation. But I can't, so I have to forge ahead. I just don't know how to deal with people. I mean, other students. I'm talking to people and everything, so it's not that I'd be isolated or anything. I just don't know what to think about the disabilities. It's like, it feels like I'm being impolite if I pay attention to them, and it's weird to ignore them. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. The teacher scratches his cheek absent-mindedly, looking very unresponsive. These things are only an issue if you make them one. Hey, that's what the librarian said. You can talk normally with someone, even if they are blind or something. Try to look behind the superficial. There's not a single student here who isn't just a normal kid behind whatever they might seem at first glance. He said the same thing Yuko did. I know they're right, but it's hard. How can you not consider, for example, Shizune's deafness, and the only way to communicate with her is to talk through Misha? Or Hanako. It's not like you can ignore her face. But I'm interrupted by the door of the classroom suddenly slamming open. Teacher! Misha crashes in, hands straight in enthusiastic greeting, her voice loud and lively enough to wake the dead from their graves. She starts towards the teacher's desk with her bouncing steps, hands energetically swinging in rhythm. Muto, visibly dismayed at the interruption, and Misha in general, slumps in his chair. Mikado? Misha stops in her tracks and looks around cluelessly, as if she's sensing from his tone that something's wrong, but has no idea what. Yes? We have talked about volume control before. Yes? But she doesn't lower her voice at all, and the teacher rubs his eyes. So what is it? We need help. We're running out of supplies for the festival stands. This is a distress. She waves a pink slip of paper she's holding around. So, go get more supplies from the art room. What's the problem with that? Plywood! Plywood is always the problem. Last time we wanted more and there was only a little, but that time we just took it all and went with that. Now there's like none left there.
So do you know where there is some?
I don't understand. How would I know?
Shi-chan... I mean, the president thought that a teacher would know if there is plywood. Was she wrong?
Motaro looks like he's in great pain, frowning his entire essence, and Misha doesn't get it at all. Okay, yeah, so Misha probably has a mental disability, I would say. I think her and Kenji might be the only ones. But the way they're writing how she presents herself and her inability to pick up on things, she's got to be some kind of, going like ADHD, maybe. Maybe it's just ADHD, because ADHD is also struggle with tone and stuff, but yeah. Maybe that's just me projecting onto her. Looking at the two of them communicate is terrible. Like looking at a man being tortured by drilling his skull open while blasting pop music at full volume at the same time. I'm afraid I have no idea if there's any plywood in the school, let alone where it would be if there was any.
Ah, what should I do?
It could be both. Yeah, I think so. Perhaps try to find Mr. Noyuma, I think is how you say that. I'm quite sure he would know where to find everything you need. You'd have to pry them from his cold, dead hands, but that's a different matter.
Ah, I don't have time. We're so busy.
She holds her head in both her hands, looking as despairingly as it's possible for a person like her. Without even noticing, she crumples the note she's holding against her hair.
I shouldn't even be fetching these things. There's so much to do, and we're all falling behind the schedule.
Muto looks at her gravely, and then suddenly smiles. Smiling doesn't really fit his face. I think it'd be better if he didn't. I wonder if you could get some temporary help. He switches to staring at me focusedly with a hard expression as if to say, go make some friends. I guess I can give you a hand.
You can? Thanks, Hee-chan. You're really nice.
She pauses, does a double take, and then points at me with her finger, yelping, ah! And looking very puzzled.
Come to think of it, what's Hee-chan doing here? Class is over. You should be having fun.
We just had a little chat. Oh, my cat's awake. Hey, Bubba, don't press that button, please.
Oh no, it's not detention, is it? Are you in trouble, Hee-chan?
No, I'm not.
Is Hee-chan in trouble, teacher?
No, he's not. Muto sighs deeply, and I feel that I have to help Misha to get her off the teacher's back. So what do you need?
Here's a list. I can try find the plywood from somewhere if there's none in the art room.
She offers me the note she's holding. I take it, hesitating a bit. I said I'd help you, but this has no implication on whether I'm joining the council or not.
Aww. Still, thanks, Hee-chan. Try to be quick. Try to be quick. We are on a stall building streak after all. We must hurry, hurry, hurry.
She bounces off in the classroom, leaving me with the teacher looking at each other with something that feels like a silent agreement. Well, there you have it, Nakai. You have something to do now. Please don't sound so smug. Looking at the list with a number of items ranging from paint to plywood, all written with small, neat handwriting that is undoubtedly Shizune's, I heave a sigh. Cat, press the button to cause chaos. The button he wanted to press would reset the computer. I'll be going then. Waving the long list limply at the teacher, I exit the hallway. The classrooms closest to ours are designated belonging to classes 3-1 and 3-2 on the right, and 3-4 on the left side, each door looking exactly the same. Further down the corridor, still with identical doors, the rooms that I didn't think were used for classes. I guess the art room is not a classroom as such. I carefully push open the furthest door and peek in. It's a classroom, but it seems rather badly kept or not in use. Am I in the right place? Desks and chairs are all around the room, and a thin layer of dust settled on them. There are some easels in the corner, so at least it looks like the right place. The room is flushed with sunlight from the big windows and shadows creeping all over the desks. Specks of dust are dancing in the stagnant air, making beams of light almost visible. Jokingly, I call into the empty room. Anybody Something catches my eye and I stop mid-sentence. Sitting on the desk is a short-haired girl, curiously wearing a boy's uniform, with a fork between her toes and a morsel of food stuck firmly on the end. This odd way of dining seems to be caused by her apparent lack of hands, but her presence here is what takes me aback even more. How did I miss her before? She's sitting in a corner, very still, but I still somehow took her as part of the furnishing or a statue at first glance. I'm not being too observant today as a whole. The girl seems to be frozen in place, staring at me with her huge eyes like a rabbit in headlights. She's staring at me, her mouth wide open, ready to accept the fork. I'm staring at her, my mouth wide open, suddenly remembering I didn't finish my sentence and trying to think if I should. This weird stalemate keeps us both stunned into silence, punctuated only by the wall clock ticking rhythmically. This is hilarious. I love this. I am curious why she's in the boys' uniform. Like, that sounds like something I would do, so it's not like, you know, super duper strange, but I'm curious, like, her reasoning for doing it. Hello. The girl stuffs the fork full in her mouth and is now staring at me expectantly while chewing. This is a bit awkward. Hello. I was told to pick up some supplies from here for some festival stalls, I think. I didn't think there'd be someone here. There isn't. That's why I came here too. She picks up another forkful. Doesn't that mean you're here then? She raises her brows as if she's suspecting my observation was false. You're pretty observant. I guess it does. But who are you? This girl is pretty straightforward, isn't she? I'm Nakai. Hisao Nakai. I just transferred in on Monday. Oh, now she's beautiful. Sorry, I just had weakness for redheads and vampires. So, are you changing your allegiance from Hanako to this girl?
I'm Rin. Tezuka Rin. Rin Tezuka.
I won't shake hands with you, but at least we know who we are now. Am I a terrible person for laughing? Look at her face. She knows what she said. Come on. Come on, she knows what she said. Please. That was really good. I like that. She's so cute. Yeah, I think so.
That's very nice.
A deadpan manner of talking makes it hard to determine whether she's joking about shaking hands or not. Come on, look at her expression. Of course she's joking. It kind of bothers me joking about these matters doesn't feel appropriate at all. Dude, I was making jokes about my grandmother dying literally like the day after I found out she died. This is my kind of humor. This is my kind of humor. This is exactly what I do when I have trauma. Okay, her sense of humor won me over. Okay, so currently Rin is the girl that we're into. While I'm trying to figure out what's appropriate and whether this girl is, she seems to have lost interest in me and is now gazing yearningly back at her food. Can I continue my lunch? If you don't mind me, I won't mind you. If you need to get your stuff, the supplies are in the back. Go right ahead. But lunch? School's already over for the day. What word would you use then? There's no word for a meal you eat after lunch but before dinner, right? It bothers me very much too, but I don't really know what I should say. I don't think you're supposed to eat a meal between lunch and dinner to begin with.
But I'm hungry now, and my delicious boxed lunch will go to waste otherwise. I have curry, it's very delicious.
With much decisiveness, Rin once again picks up the fork between her toes with at least as much impoliteness and points it straight at me.
So Nakai, what brings you to this place?
Like I said, I was told to look for these things.
No, the school. From outside you look fine. What's your problem inside?
Oh, finally! Someone asks! Finally! She's my favorite? Okay, yeah. I come to a full stop, opening my mouth but not getting a word out. It's called afternoon tea and it's very dignified. Yeah! I so want to dig into his statement. Do it, it's free. It's free. Sorry, my cat's trying to play with the buttons on my computer and making me very sad.
I can guess. I'm good at guessing. I'm better than most people. Rin cuts me off before I can answer her question, or skirt around it somehow. I don't know which I would have done. I froze in front of this issue again. I haven't even told anyone. Oh, Nemi. Nemi's being a menace. Come sit with me, Nemi. Oh, come sit. Come cuddle. Okay. I froze in front of this issue again. I haven't even told anyone here about my condition, or maybe it's only because it hasn't really come up. I do get the feeling that not making issues of this is part of the social code here, as the teacher said. I wonder if the people here could relate. Probably not any better than any normal person could. I can't relate to Shizune's circumstances, or Lily's either. Naturally, while I go through this in my head, Rin keeps considering what my condition could be, an overtly contemplative look on her face. She puts her fork between her lips and leans back, looking at the ceiling as if the answer was written up there. A beam of light illuminates her face from the window side, creating a mask of dark shadow on the other side. I don't think it's anything with your head, and something in your gut would be boringly ordinary, like this lunch of mine, and less delicious. The problem must be in your— Whoa! Hang on, are you talking about my legs? This messed up Sherlock Holmes kind of statement and the sheer lack of tact was delivered with catches me completely off guard. I need to get this game too. Rogue, we have a sensor picture. We have a sensor picture that we're going to be using when those things come up. I could just turn them off, but I kind of want to see them. I think I might have reeled back even physically as Rin's eyes widened in revelation and astonishment. So I was right. There's something wrong with your tackle, isn't there? Still partially in shock, but recognizing the need to reply to something, I spit out the first thing I can think of. No, nothing like that. I have a heart problem. Arrhythmia. I said it. More like blurted it out. But I said it. The girl in front of me purses her lips together and glowers at me. Hang on, I gotta fix my cat's posture. Looking very disappointed. She's disappointed there's nothing wrong with my tackle, as she says. How boring. Trouble in the pants would have been much more scandalous. What's with this reaction? I'm sorry to let you down? Oh, he has a broken heart. Yeah, literally. I forgive you. Just, I collect people and a person with, you know, that kind of problem would have been really great. What do you mean you collect people? What does that mean? Collect people? People with different problems. Huh. So you just, like, go around asking people what's wrong with them? I mean, to be perfectly honest, I would. I like knowing more about people, and sometimes that means asking them about their disabilities. Pretty much. No. Did you seriously come up here just to move my jacket so that you can press the buttons on the computer? You're a cheeky bugger. That's what you are. I see. With little left to say, Rin resumes her lunch and the conversation dies away, but I keep thinking about what she said. It's the first time I told anyone else about my condition, and all the other people have either known about it already or heard about it from someone else. Nemi, can you please move? Or didn't need to know about it, like every other student so far. Should I have told her? Should I have told it as a natural part of introductions? Is it expected of me? Hi, I'm Hisao. I have a very serious heart condition. Is that how I'm supposed to go around introducing myself from now on? I hate you commercials. If you hate the commercials so much, maybe you should check if you have Twitch Prime, you know? Maybe skip the ads, steal some money from Amazon. Or maybe someone in chat will gift a sub for you if you don't want to pay for a sub. Just saying. Is that how I'm supposed to— Oh yeah, I read that. As if our disabilities would define us. What a disgusting thought. Or maybe this Tezuka girl is just has an unnatural interest in such things. Oh, my spacebar's not working. As I walk to the back of the room to pick up the items on Misha's list, a chance to study Rin from the corner of my eye.
Her hair is a burnt auburn, almost orange, and cropped short. Long hair would probably be impossible with no arms. The boy's uniform and the lack of arms make her look very thin, almost scrawny. She's not particularly pretty. Hey, I wouldn't say that. I think she's adorable. Except for her musky green eyes, which flicker relentlessly from below her short bangs even when she eats. The distance and the shadows make it seem like they don't reflect sunlight at all, but instead absorb it all within them like deep wells. She moves her feet almost as deftly as a normal person would use their arms. However, I can see how this sight would discomfort people, especially while eating. It makes me feel a bit uncomfortable at least. I hesitate to think about the word unnatural, but it's too late now, isn't it? I keep searching the cabins, I think that's supposed to say cabinets, and shelves for Misha's things, but after enough time passes, the silence grows too uncomfortable and I try to force some conversation out of this strange girl. So do you always eat alone and this late, or do you get the occasional visitor? Visitors, maybe you are my first occasional visitor, but I don't always eat alone either. Sometimes I eat with a certain person on the roof, if she's not horsing around. Horsing? She likes to do sports. Oh, you must be, what was the other girl's name? I forgot. Oh. And that's all I can think of to say. The girl with no legs, the girl with the twin tails that almost killed us, they must be friends. Both of us fall silent again as Rin forks the last bits of her meal into her mouth. I look down at my haul and double-check with Misha's list. I seem to have everything except plywood. So I think I have all the things now. That's very nice for you. Don't feel obligated to stay. I was just about to take a nap anyway. You need to do whatever you're going to do with that stuff anyway, right? Or perhaps you like to watch girls sleeping? I'm not sure what to make of this, but Rin looks serious. Even if I did, I think I have to be going. I'll catch you around, Tezuka. You can call me Rin. I feel like our relationship is, at this point, good enough to warrant this much. I was already turning to make my exit, but she draws me back in. Fine. Then I'm Hisao. Then you are. Rin looks at me so hard in the eyes, but that intimidating feeling you get when someone stares at you isn't there. It's like she's actually not looking at me at all. She blinks a couple of times and I can't figure out why a pause like this popped between us out of nowhere. See you later, Hisao. There's something like a tiny smile there on her face, maybe. I quietly back out of the room as I shut the door in front of my face, I whisper to myself, what an intriguing person. From inside, I hear a muffled sing-song voice. I heard that. Is it available on Steam? No. It has its own, like, downloadable website that you have to get it from. The content in this game makes it not suitable for Steam, I believe, from what I can remember.
What did she hear?
I jump at the sudden appearance of Misha, who I had not heard approaching despite the completely empty hallway. She'd somehow gotten into jumping distance of me without making a sound. Creepy. It briefly reminds me of Kenji's nutty theory about the global feminist conspiracy, but I pushed that thought aside. Shizune, standing behind Misha, looks aloof as she couldn't have heard the remark that drew Misha's attention, but Misha is visibly excited.
No, wait! More importantly, who's in there? There's no club meetings today.
She tries to curiously peek past me, even though the door prevents her from seeing anyway. What are you doing here?
You took so long that we had to come check what's wrong. That's not good, Hee-chan.
She wags her finger at me scoldingly.
I found plywood, but everything else was still missing because you're tardy.
Oh, sorry. I got the things here. I was just gonna bring them.
I think you were up to some mischief, Hee-chan. Who was in there with you, I wonder?
Misha signs something quickly to Shizune, pointing at her own ear a couple of times. Shizune immediately pushes her way past me and opens the door into the classroom I just left. I can only imagine the shock she is experiencing. With Shizune's diligence and attitude, and the insolence of daring to deface school property by sleeping on top of it must be too much to bear. And indeed, she stares at Rin, frozen in place apart from a slight but noticeable trembling of her shoulders, from suppressed rage, I'm sure. Instead of blowing up, Shizune just takes a few deep breaths, adjusts her glasses, and slams the door shut, turning to sign furiously at Misha. Maybe she did blow up, but I can't understand it. She shoots a very loaded stare at me too, as if it was somehow my fault that Rin is sleeping on one of the tables. I hope she's not getting any funny ideas about the reason for my tardiness. Hello? Rin's voice comes from the other side of the door, and it takes a few eye blinks to realize she might have trouble opening it. I open the door to find Rin directly behind it, looking at us with a half-interested, half-sleepy face. Hello? Oh, this is gonna be rough, because Rin doesn't have hands to sign. So she can only talk to Shizune through Misha. Kinda like how, what's it called? Lily can only talk to Shizune through Misha. But, like, I wonder if Shizune also hates Rin.
Miss Tezuka, what do you think you are doing? You're absolutely not permitted to use school property for such disgraceful activity.
I'm sure it's suddenly very crowded in here. I don't know why I didn't know I was this popular. It's hard to say whether she's happy or unhappy about this turn of events. At any rate, she ignores Shizune/Misha's scolding, so they have no choice but to drop the issue. Shizune taps Misha's shoulder and points at Rin and makes some quick signs.
Popularity aside, please don't do that anymore. Anyway, how's the project going? Will it be done for the festival?
Rin looks at them blankly, apparently at ease under the pressure of Shizune's cold stares putting on her. I keep wondering about that myself too.
And? We'll think about it harder.
As Misha signs her reply to Shizune, as Misha signs her reply to Shizune, her face turns to an unsatisfied frown.
Miss Tezuka, please try to take this seriously. It'll be a disaster if the wall looks like someone threw up their lunch on it.
Rin nods assertively. I will think more seriously. Misha actually giggles at that, but Shizune doesn't. Not even after translation. She just shakes her head and takes the materials from me and takes off with Misha in tow. Rin frowns thoughtfully as she looks after the retreating student council duo. How rude. It's true though, I must finish my project before the weekend. There'll be dire consequences if I don't. The end of the world as we know it. Like weekends usually are, but more dire. Much more dire. Maybe I'll postpone my nap to unforeseen future. She's great, I like her a lot. I'm about to ask what project she has and what are these apocalyptic consequences, but she walks back into the art classroom. Since you have nothing to do, would you give me a hand? I shouldn't be laughing, but it reminds me of a conversation I had with someone who actually was disabled that came into my day job. This paint doesn't fit into my bag, but I need it. She kicks lightly at a huge can of paint that's lying on the floor next to the table she was sitting and sleeping on. It lets out a dull clang. Being the gentleman I am, I naturally pick it up. Heavy. Yeah, sure. Where do you need me to take it? Away. And with that, she takes off to the hallway, me and the paint can following since there's little choice for either of us. The hallway is quiet and empty now with Shizune and Misha gone, so we two leave towards the stairwell at the other end. Every 10 or 15 or 20 steps, I have to change the can from one hand to another because the thin handle cuts into my palm. At least it keeps my arms from tiring too fast. Rin strolls on beside me with an uneven pace, and I have trouble matching. Or maybe I'm walking weird because I have the extra weight. It seems one of us is constantly walking too slow or too fast, and I can't figure out which. 2 flights of stairs below, trouble appears in the form of the head nurse and his fox-like grin. Ah, Mr. Nakai, what a happy coincidence! Tezuka too, of course. He nods courteously to Rin. Courteously? Yeah, to Rin, who does not acknowledge him back, then turns to me because obviously it's me who he had some business with. There's something I forgot to mention on Monday. I nod and wait impassively because I can't even begin to guess what he forgot. The feeling of the handle delving deeper into my skin doesn't make me feel enthusiastic about this interruption either. It's about your medications. Since you haven't been that long on your current medications, there might be some unexpected side effects, which might require adjusting dosage or even changing to another kind of medication. So we will do a few tests regularly, but what I'd want from you is to keep an eye on everything in your condition that feels off, if you get what I mean. I remember a conversation I had with a blind girl in my college days. We talked about multiversal travel. That sounds really fun. Nausea, headache, anything, and come see me if something happens. Alright? So, how are you? Everything fine? I give up and drop the can on the floor before answering him. Apparently this takes longer than my biceps can handle. I'm about to say something generic as an answer, but then I realize how often I've done that lately. Other people have asked me that too. Teachers and students here, my parents, visitors, nurses, doctors at the hospital. Everyone seems to be concerned about that. It's natural for a hospital, not so much for a school. Except for this school. This is a small school, and both the student base and faculty seem to be very tightly knit. At least that's the feeling I'm getting. And this is not the kind of school that gets transfer students too often. The thought sends shivers up my spine, but I give a generic answer anyway. That's great! Also, one other thing. My sources tell me that you've been neither the school track nor even the pool, so I'd like to know if you'd taken up any exercise, as I've asked. Of course I hadn't, but his way of inquiring gives me the feeling that I should have been running my ass off on the track since the very first day. You have people spying on me? Not as such, I just happen to know a few people, but that's not the issue here, so don't try and slip out of it. Well, I was actually just doing some improvised weightlifting as an exercise. I pick up and lift the can up and down a few times to make some sad imitation of a bodybuilder, even though it's weighing down my arms painfully. That stupid grin disappears from his face for a second, then comes back as if it was never gone. Tezuka, would you give us a second? The nurse grabs me by the shoulder without waiting for Rin's permission, which he didn't need in the first place, and drags me aside. When I told you to exercise, I wasn't joking. I understand that you're still on your first week and all, but please don't ignore the importance of this. The reason I'm coming down this hard on you is that habits are not easy to form. The more you slip and postpone, the harder it'll be. It's the same with everything, like dieting. Can you promise to be more serious about this from now on? Yes. Yeah, I promise, definitely. Take up the best sport there is, armored death matches. I've seen those, and they're so funny. He studies me for a moment and then shrugs, smiling again. Okay then, that's more like it. If you go to the school track tomorrow morning, you'll meet my spy, who probably has no qualms offering consultation to you if you want to jog a bit. Consultation? See you around. He leaves with a wave of his hand and no answer, and I walk to Rin, who has been waiting idly leaning against the hallway wall and staring at the pale light. I can't read! And I walk to Rin, who has been waiting, idly leaning against the hallway and staring at the pale lighting fixtures in the ceiling. There we go. Even when I approach, she doesn't move her eyes off them. Are you getting medications for your heart thingy? Were you listening? It comes out more accusatory than I intended. accidentally lashing out on her. But even so, I don't really want to start talking about it. I just met her. I don't know her. It's not her business. The nurse seems to be happily ignorant about confidentiality too, talking about that kind of thing in public. But it's not Rin's fault, is it? I look up at her suddenly feeling a bit guilty, but Rin's just staring past my shoulder quizzically, her head tilted like a bird's. I don't know why this is so hard for me, but it feels like there's some inexplicable lock that prevents me from being more upfront about this. Yeah, death on my heart. I'm gonna finish my tea, hang on. I lied, I'm not gonna finish my tea, but I did have a sip of it. Will they make you better? No, not really. They just make me a little less worse. Rin keeps looking at me for a while longer, and she neither says anything further, nor displays any kind of emotion I could discern. I'm thankful that she doesn't. I think I'm still not quite used to all this. At the hospital it was easy, but I still haven't sorted my feelings about having to live a quote-unquote normal life with this disability. We leave the main building, and Rin leads us onwards towards the dorm. You need a new heart to be better. Yeah, that's true. We stop at the small patch of greenery in front of the dorm building. Oh, that weird doodle on the wall must be her. The dorm is built on a slightly elevated ground with a wall and a few trees that only inconvenient design of the school. Inconvenient? I don't understand. The entire wall, made of the same kind of brick as the building itself, has been covered in some kind of painting. Most of it is still more sketches, quick lines drawn with black and white against the grey plastering that covers most of the entire length of the wall, but some places look a bit more finished. There are human faces and legs and hands. I can't quite say what the painting is as a whole might portray. Stacks of what seem to be paint cans are arranged in piles on the ground beside the wall. See? The left side is hardly off the ground yet. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's because I couldn't get in the mood yesterday, so I gave up and went to meditate instead. Then it was suddenly morning. I have to work on it, but the guys from the art class are helping me with the negative spaces. Hang on, I need to start that sentence again. It's getting late. I'm gonna stop once we get to our dorm. I have to work on it, but the guys from the art class are helping me with the negative spaces and base surfaces whenever, which is a problem. It's easier to paint big areas if there are a lot of people with hands. The reach is better, and it's faster too. She goes on a tangent, waving a little with her arm, or whatever of it there actually is, to demonstrate even though I got the point already. As for her, we've made some kick-ass strides in robo-aesthetics. I know, right? I know. We'll shower and go to bed? No worries, we're gonna wrap up really soon too. The white cotton of her sleeve flaps around and makes me think it could look sadder than it does. But it makes me feel out of place, like almost every tangible reminder of the student bases. Special priorities has in the past few days. This girl doesn't notice my dreary feelings, of course, or the fact that she lost me a while ago already. She just keeps blabbering. So that's why I'm trying to figure out if there's something I need to figure out and then figure that out before it's too late and all hope is lost. Why would the hope be lost? Because paint has to be painted and then it has to dry and then it has to be painted over with another kind of paint. It takes time. She finally stops, apparently thinking she made some kind of statement that makes sense. I think it's best to start from the top. So this is your project. You did this? Yes, yes. All of it? Yes. Nice, but... I stumble with my words, suddenly feeling like I've walked straight into the minefield of political incorrectness. It's okay, you can say it. I probably won't get mad. I blushed really hard. I don't really know what would be the right thing to say, if any. It feels like I'm way more sensitive than Rin is, though. Green is cool, don't fuck this up. Yeah, I know. Don't fuck this up. This is really awkward. Don't you want to ask? How do you paint without hands? See? I'm an easy person to talk to, right? With my feet. I almost guessed that already, but isn't that hard to do? You're good at guessing. Anyway, I don't think it is, but maybe I'm used to it by now. I can't get my mind around the fact that she could be an artist, but seeing how adept she was using her feet to eat, I figure painting might not be a problem either. Neither of us has anything more to add to the subject. The afternoon light works pretty well. I was afraid it would look too flat, but it's not like that after all. I think it's actually pretty interesting. I wanted to see what it looks like in dim light. Do you think it's flat? Well, paintings tend to be flat. Nemi, come on. Not like that flat. You know, flat like some people are. No substance, no meat, where there should be some. Like a girl who's, okay, I get it. That's really fun. I really like her. She's my kind of humor. She's my kind of humor. But I couldn't really tell. I'm not that good with art. I can't name many artists or artistic terms. So I don't really have anything to say. Rin shrugs her shoulders at that, saying, "Suit yourself," without saying it, and looks up at the sky as if trying to look for something up there. I didn't think they'd get any actual work done, but if you give me a hand with the paints, I could do a little before it gets too dark. I wanted to get... Oh, Nemi, that's my tea. I wanted to get a halogen lamp. Halogen lamp, I think is what that is. Like the ones they have at the sports track, but there aren't any. Rin sure is quick to recruit my help. As with Shizune, it really makes me feel that the festival is such a big project that every pair of hands is needed. Why not? I'm not really sure I can be of any help, though. It's just mixing some paints. You can do that, probably. Do you have motor control problems? Like, you know, those people who have some? Cerebral palsy, maybe? Not that I know of. I get it. Heart thinking has nothing to do with that. She gives me a slight look for no reason. No, it doesn't. Let's do this then. So she sits on an empty wooden box and very naturally picks up a wide brush between her toes of her bare right foot. Oh, she's right-footed. Open a few of the cans and pour some of the contents into the shallow bowls for mixing. The thick paints flow lazily from the can to the bowl like syrup. I mix them, creating funny, hypnotic-looking swirl patterns that melt quickly into each other to form a new monotone hue. Rin sets to work, every now and again asking me for a hand with something or the other. Finding different brushes is easy enough, but mixing the paints to be the exact tone this girl is apparently seeing in her head is a frustrating ordeal. Bro, mixing paints is so frustrating. It's so frustrating. She wants precision down to the last milliliter before she's satisfied, but her instructions are obscure at best. Add half a splash of green. I crouch down and pick up the bright green can. The other green. This green. I carefully pour some of the other green paint into the mixing bowl. No, that's almost a whole splash. More white. Is green a good color to add? Sorry, is green a good color to add? No idea, you're the artist here. A hint of smile appears at the corners of her mouth. Do you lack an opinion? No, it's just I have no idea. It's okay, because I just got an idea. Add more white. With this exclamation, I pour a minuscule amount of white into the bowl and mix it. It looks slightly whiter. That's not good. It has to be like the color when you wake up and you know that you saw the meaning of life in your dream, but you can't remember it. Maybe it's yellow. Despite the impossibility of mixing colors like the change of seasons or any other nonsense that's being imposed on me, I found myself enjoying it more than I thought I would. Seeing a painting being born on the plastered wall feels like magic. I spend the moments I have between mixing paints crouching down on the paving. I spend the moments I have between mixing paints crouching down on the paving and just looking at her work. It feels slightly intrusive at first, like breaking some imaginary intimacy, but Rin doesn't seem to mind the least bit. Maybe it's just in my head. Her entire presence emits a completely different air as she patiently strokes the details, adding layers of paint on top of other layers of paint, steadily moving her foot across the wall to add new shapes. Now I'm gonna finish my tea, guys. Nope, I lied to you a second time. There's still one sip of tea left. When I manage to produce a plausible mixture of paint, the rare smile on her face is oddly rewarding. Apart from a few words when discussing paint mixes, neither of us says a word for the longest time. Hydrate? Okay, fine. Now I'll finish my tea. Tea is officially emptied. Okay? And now I really need to pee, but I'm gonna wait until we finish playing to pee. And even those short discussions soon evolve into shorthand, both of us developing and using weird impromptu code words for various paints and hues. As if there was some need to conserve words and breathed sound. We stay there late into the evening until it becomes too dark to paint properly. Alright, cool. Well, on to the next day. This is where we're gonna wrap up tonight. Wait for the text box thingy. Alright, we're gonna hit save button. Create a new save state. Progress successfully saved. Excellent! This is where we're going to end tonight, everybody. Quit on out. I'm having a lot of fun so far. I think this is a really sweet experience. I'm still not sure how accurate some of this representation is going to be. That being said, I love Rin. You should play Snoot Game. Yeah, I really want to play Snoot Game, actually. Oh no, mix it up. It's fine, we're gonna wrap up soon anyway. I really, really want to play Snoot Game. I think it'd be really fun. But I want to play Snoot Game, but I also want to play the game that inspired Snoot Game, the really terrible one, Goodbye Volcano High. And I want to play them back to back because I think that would be hilarious. But anyway, that's a different idea for a different time. For now, I am going to go to sleep. And my cat is very excited at the idea that we're gonna go to sleep. He's been waiting for me to go eepies for a long time. So anyway, stay warm, stay cozy, stay toasty. If you sneezed during the stream at any point, bless you. And we're definitely gonna be continuing this. I think we're probably might go down the Rin route. I'm not entirely sure because we haven't met everybody yet. But yeah. Bye bye.